Well. So we had not heard from Jerry Jones for quite a while. And, I like Jerry Jones, but it was pretty good that Jerry Jones was quiet in allowing the football people to talk. Well, after a hiatus from Jerry Jones speaks today, and Jerry Jones did not disappoint. Jerry Jones had a lot of things to say about what he thinks the Cowboys are going to do, what they're doing, what they can do. Jerry Jones had a lot of things to say. And it was really the Jerry Jones press conference, if you ask me, because Brian Schottenheimer and Stephen Jones didn't really get a lot of opportunity to speak. But nevertheless, man, Jerry Jones had a lot of stuff to say and a lot of things to digest. We're going to listen to it again, and we're going to give our reaction. Let's talk Cowboys. We're about to talk facts. What is going on, Cowboys Nation? Jerry Jones was dropping megaton bombs today. He was absolutely making up for lost time. But overall, I think he had a lot of good things to say, and we're going to bring clarity to it today. Let's go! Welcome, Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters alike. I'm the G, and I'm the host of Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. And as you come into this live stream, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, so you know the next time we post another video or go live. And yes, we are live. And if you haven't become a channel member subscriber yet, what are you waiting on? We have a lot of great content coming up on this channel this season. Now let's talk facts. Jerry Jones. We're gonna react to the Jerry Jones press conference. We could call it Stephen Jones and Schotty, but it goes to show you, and I'm gonna point out something about the media. For as much as people say they like when Jerry Jones is quiet, I've been telling y'all this for the longest. There are a lot of people, they don't like when Jerry Jones is quiet. See, we like when Jerry is quiet, but they don't like when Jerry is quiet. And this is why today, man, they were trying to get it in with Jerry, and Jerry was just dropping megaton bombs. And Jerry even admitted they've been a part of what he's been doing. We're going to talk about that. Then, I want you to hear something, and I don't know why Train just earlier is saying the same thing. Oh, I forgot. Okay. Nick Eatman, not Nick Eastman. Nick Eatman was talking on 105.3 The Fan today. And he said something that when I listened to it this morning, I said that he was wrong. Well, Tyler Smith is saying that he's wrong. And then Brian Schottenheimer today in the press conference proved him wrong. And that's going to lead us into talking about Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith's got some people in an uproar, but I'm going to tell y'all again, you're going to call me a prophet before it's all said and done. Then I'm going to let you hear the long form interview. A guy by the name of Doyle, I'm not sure what this is, but the entire interview of Tyler Smith. He also has the entire interview of Malik Hooker. We're going to listen to both of those. Then I found a couple of interviews, and I'm not sure if these are older. I think they're older, but they flashed today. But we'll check them out anyway and see if they're old. But they're interviewing Javonte Williams, and they interviewed Daron Bland. I think I remember the first interview, but it came up as new today for some reason. Then we got an update on Romo. See, some people don't realize, man, what I was saying about Romo yesterday was absolutely true. And CBS came down with a ruling on Tony Romo. And then finally, we're going to talk about Micah Parsons and Jalen Carter. And we're not going to talk in depth about Micah Parsons. We're just going to talk about how something that's happening with him in his injury and how it affects the Dallas Cowboys And then we're also going to look at Jalen Carter because Brian Schottenheimer, he said, not Brian, Stephen Jones, he said something today about Jalen Carter and how that may affect one of our players. Man, we got a lot to talk about. I don't even know if we'll get to it all today, but that's the show for today. It is absolutely loaded. Buckle in, get your popcorn, get yourself something to drink. Man, we are about to talk Cowboys for the next few hours. Let's go. Let's get it. All right, man, let's get this roll call in because I am ready to get this show started. Gwen Bowden, what is going on? Gwen Bowden, pray all is well. Good to see you. Jeremy Betts, what up, Jeremy Betts? Hope all is well with you. Jeremy Betts, man, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. I didn't even notice it. Man, you be contributing to my Cash App like almost every week. Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you for the support. Yes, sir. Thomas Gold Rain. What up, Thomas Gold Rain? Jabril Quinn, what up? Real estate vet. Tell me how hot it is over there in Vegas. My man, Frank Lawrence. What up, Frank Lawrence? Brave Cowboys, what is going on? Yeah, press conference was good, man. I pretty much liked everything I heard. Hey, Crazy Cowboys, don't you worry. You ain't heard a press conference until you heard it with me. Let's go. What up, Crazy Cowboys 72? Good to see you. Chris Dunaway, what is going on? Michael Tyree, Richard Owens, the Queen. She said, I see Jerry has spoken. Oh, yeah, he spoke all right. Bulky Cowboys Celtics, what up? Brandy, you got to get me some exclusive footage while you out there in Oxnard, California. Record it on your phone, send it straight to my email. Hook a brother up. Kevin Trotter, what's going on from Mississippi? Living in Florida from Mississippi, what's going on? Marlon Dillard, salute. What is going on? What is going on, King Cobra Interceptor? What is going on? What is going on? Derek Jones, Carl Williams, what is going on? Marvin Mays, Dolores Ennis, what is going on? Gwen said, I will be starting Cowboys Victory September 13, 2026, early on Saturday, September 12, 2026 at my Bowden's Family and Friends Cookout. Yeah. Gwen said, y'all already counted me a prophet. I'm telling you, it's some of the stuff that they were saying today. Y'all already heard me say this stuff. I'm telling you. Derek Jones. Mark Davis, the best smelling man on YouTube. What's going on? 824 Deshaun, what's going on? Marco Williams. Appreciate you, Brandy. Tim and Terry. Make sure you send me some footage, Tim and Terry. Timmy and Brandy, I heard it is hot out there. What is going on, Randall Harris? Appreciate y'all rocking with me. I heard it is hot out there in Cali. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Best chat on YouTube. What is going on, Robert Dudley? All right, so let's get to this Jerry Jones press conference. Man, let me tell you something. Jerry Jones has been quiet for quite a while, but I'm going to tell you something. He made up for lost time today. I am telling y'all, this was the Jerry Jones show. It was like everything they had to ask, it was Jerry. And again, I'm telling you, this is what people love about Jerry Jones. They can say anything they want to, but Jerry Jones is just so entertaining, man. He's just so entertaining. He is a walking headline. And today, man, I am telling you, Jerry was dropping megaton bombs. I mean, man, it was bombs over Baghdad today. So let's get in here and just listen. Jerry's going to open it up. And again, man, let me tell you something. Jerry started out kind of like, he wasn't going, it was like Jerry kind of started out kind of light. Like he wasn't going to say a whole lot. But oh my gosh. Boy, once he got going, especially once Clarence Hill started chiming in. Clarence Hill and James Slater, once they chimed in, oh, it was all she wrote. It was all she wrote when they chimed in. So this is Jerry Jones as we open up the Dallas Cowboys press conference. Let's check it out.
Yes! Here we go!
Left, Dad.
You're next to me.
I don't want to sit left. I want to sit right there.
Okay, I'll change.
I'm teasing.
Okay.
Boss.
Having fun.
Appreciate
Hello,
that,
everybody.
Super Chat Real Estate Vet.
Welcome to camp. Hey, everybody. Let's go. Just a reminder that I'll call on you. Flag me down. I got a list. And please let us know your name and your platform before your question, the first question that you ask. With that, we will get started with Calvin Watkins.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. Good morning.
Good morning.
Jay, what have you seen this offseason that gives you confidence that this team can get back to the playoffs?
Well, maybe confidence is not the word I might use. What I've seen in the offseason gives us a chance, and we have the goods, so to speak, to really change up parts of the team. That had 9 of 11 coaches on defense. That's a material change, and the system that's going to go with it, that's a material change. So what I'm excited about is that I really believe that we can do something. The last time there were this many changes of any team that I've been involved in, where we changed the system, changed out all the players, and plus changed out the coaches, was the first year with Jimmy Johnson, and we won 1 football game. So we know that changing out and starting new can obviously create quite a challenge. But I like what we've got to work with. I, of course, have a lot of confidence in our head coach, Schotty, and have a lot of confidence in the coaches that he's involved. I believe we ran it up. We probably interviewed as many as 40, it could be 45 coaches that we interviewed. And so we were looking for the best that we could get our hands on, and made the decision with the ones that we've got. I think that's going to make gives us something to be positive about. I think we can build on it, and I think we can have some success.
Dak Prescott had a Super
Now, this is what I mean by anybody who listened to this today. Jerry Jones, I thought he started out kind of light. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Jerry kind of was filling out the room a little bit. And you think about this answer, man, it's really such an un-Jerry Jones answer. What has he seen that kind of has him confident? And, Jerry's just kind of matter-of-factly, just to sum it up, the same thing I've been telling y'all for weeks. The reason why so many people are excited about this team, it's simple. It's the moves they made. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at what the Cowboys have done ever since they traded Micah Parsons. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to look at that and go, okay, I was a little skeptical at first, but everything they've done since then, I like it. And then you look at the draft. You look at free agency and you go, and then the coaches, Christian Parker, B.T. Jordan, Marcus Dixon, and all the rest. And then you look at this thing and go, man, this team is looking pretty good. They basically overhauled the entire defense. And we like what they've done. And so Jerry started out kind of light, man. He started out kind of light, But again, I want you to catch on to something. Jerry Jones dropped that Jimmy Johnson comparison. He didn't drop that Jimmy Johnson comparison to say that the Cowboys, because they got new coaches on defense, because they got new players, rookies and free agents, because they got a new system, follow this. He not making that comparison to that 1-15 team. Nah, that's not what he doing. That's not what he's doing. You'll catch it later on in the interview. But when Jerry is talking about that Jimmy Johnson team, nah, he talking about that chip, man. Jerry talking about that chip. Jerry is talking about that chip. I started this 2 years ago. Y'all remember I started saying the Jimmy Johnson barometer. Where are the Cowboys on the Jimmy Johnson barometer? I would dare say we're probably about year 3 on the Jimmy Johnson barometer because Brian Schottenheimer came in. He's got better players than what Jimmy Johnson had when he came in. They didn't make a Herschel Walker trade, but they made a Micah Parsons trade. Got him Kenny Clark, got him Quentin Williams, got him some first-round picks, helped him get Caleb Williams, and we're going to see what the rest of it does. But at the end of the day, we are probably on the Jimmy Johnson barometer. We're probably at year 3. So in year 3, when you look at the Jimmy Johnson trail to the Super Bowl, Jimmy Johnson and the Dallas Cowboys, they shocked everybody and they went to the second round of the playoffs. And then the following year, they went to the Super Bowl and they went back to back. So when I think about Jerry mentioning Jimmy, man, I want y'all to know in case you haven't heard this interview, Jerry ain't talking about no 1-15. No, Jerry ain't talking about no 1-15. Jerry is talking about clear progress this season. And he wants to see it. And you'll hear it as we get further. Let's keep going.
Super Bowl jersey, excuse me, Super Bowl shirt, t-shirt on. Tyler Smith said it's realistic we can get to the Super Bowl. What do you guys think about those aspirations?
Well, I sure like to, I'll speak first. I like the idea that thinking that positive about what we're going to work for. We've got a long way to go, really having started in our spring. But that's good to me to be positive, especially coming from him. He's a big part. He's got a first-hand feel for what we can do, certainly on his side of the ball. And I like it. I like him to be thinking of that success level.
Clarence.
Now, follow this part. This is Jerry Jones starting out in this thing. Jerry Jones started kind of light until they got him riled up. Jerry Jones started kind of light. And one of the things he made sure that he didn't do, he didn't upstage Dak Prescott. And I'm glad that the Super Bowl charge is coming from the quarterback. It's coming from the quarterback and it's coming from the coach. It's coming from the team. Jerry isn't having to do the Super Bowl chant. No, the team is embracing it. Dak Prescott, more than ever, is embracing the Super Bowl. Dak is telling Cowboys Nation, but most of all, Dak Prescott is setting an expectation for this team. Bro, it's time to win a Super Bowl. That's what he's saying. Yeah, Dak Prescott is saying it's time to win a Super Bowl. We got some players, man. Dak is saying, I trust the players we've gotten. I appreciate Jerry Jones. I trust the coaches. I trust Brian. I trust Christian Parker. I trust these players. Guys, it's time to get a Super Bowl. He's setting the pace. He is setting the pace, and I love it. And Jerry isn't having to do a lot of some of the things that Jerry used to do. So I love it. I love it. They ready. They are ready. Brandy says something. Hey, Brandy, we're going to revisit this comment later on. Brandy says Schotty's on the hot seat. Somebody might disagree with Brandy. If you haven't heard this, we're going to listen to all of it before you say you disagree with Brandy. Because, Brandy, I know exactly where you're getting that from. Let's keep going.
Still DLLS Cowboys. Welcome back, Jerry. We haven't heard from you since the draft. It's been a drama-free offseason. Can you just talk about if you feel that way, there's like no contract issues or anything over and over his team? Does that lend yourself to believe that we have a different outcome coming this year?
Yeah, and Clarence, I never left, so don't need to tell me welcome back. You and I just haven't been laying eyes on each other. Okay.
What up, Blakey?
So seriously, I like the idea that the word is that we have had a quiet off season relative to, dare I say, off the field noise or chatter, whatever you want to call it. I like that. That hasn't been the case. We've had a lot going on, and we've had to really scramble a lot, the kind of stuff that you don't see. But that should be that way.
What up,
it's
Deion
supposed
Jefferson?
to be hard. But we've had a very active. We have made a lot of decisions. We have made a lot of difficult decisions in my mind. But consequently, what might have started out as a really nice, let's take it in and let's get it all, let's take it to the shop and repair it up. What started out that way, especially on defense, we ended up turning it into something completely different than it was when we started. So we even did more than I could have anticipated when we started. And I personally like the fact that the perception is that it's been a quiet, non-confrontational off season. That's good. I have really a lot of.
So I want to make sure I'm going to modify. I said a quiet and boring off season. Jerry Jones, if you listen to what he said, he modified it. Rather than a quiet and boring offseason, Jerry is saying it's been a quiet but productive offseason. Yeah. And I'll add even another word. It's been a quiet, productive, and active offseason, which the thing that's so beautiful about this is that Jerry is actually been doing what GMs do. You don't do a lot of talking as the GM. You think about some of the moves that Howie Roseman has made. How often do we hear from Howie Roseman? You have a quiet, productive, and active offseason. That is exactly what the Dallas Cowboys have had. Now, Jerry is going to downplay this, but I'm not going to downplay it. I know why Jerry wants to downplay it. Jerry wants to downplay it because Jerry wants to say that none of the drama that he's had in the past has ever affected this team. I'm going to disagree as much as I love Jerry Jones. Y'all know I love Jerry Jones. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to disagree. This is going to pay dividends for this team because the only thing they're concentrating on is winning. That's it. If people don't think that helps a team, man, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Everybody needs a peace of mind, man. Everybody needs to be able to just focus on what they're doing. So Jerry's kind of downplaying this part. But check this out, what he says next. I thought it was very interesting.
That where I live, in my mind, I do. But I have some times when it's not fun too. So all of that's good. I like the mood. I like what we're coming to camp with.
Getting back to the Super Bowl talk real quickly. Dak said he feels you have a better chance to get to the Super Bowl this year because of all the changes you've made. He said, our goal is Super Bowl every year, but this year we have a better chance because of the things you did all season. Do you feel the same way?
Well, I would say this.
Yeah, you see, Quinn, you notice the same thing? Quinn, Jerry was answering these questions to me. He was answering fine. But it was like everything was aimed at Jerry. And like I said, man, once they got him cranked up, bam, Jerry popped out the box And Jerry said a couple things that made you go, whoa, wait a minute. Now, I'm going to make sure I'm trying to favorite all of these Schotty on the hot seat. I'm going to clarify what Brandy is saying because I absolutely get what Brandy is saying. And because you got to hear what Jerry said, because that's why I said, don't let Jerry fool you with that 1 in 15 statement, because that made it sound like, yeah, man, a lot of changes around here. When we made those changes with Jimmy, we went 1 in 15. We went 1 in 15. So it took time for those changes to take effect. Nah, that's not what he's talking about. I promise you. That's not what he's talking about. Jeremy said, yeah, it's a distraction to focus of doing your job, doing what they have to do to focus on working with each other and being more peace of mind. They can keep all the rhetoric out of the locker room. Yeah, Jerry's downplaying this, and I know why he's downplaying it. But watch this. It's Jerry when he starts talking about this a little bit later, Jerry's going to bring some other people into some of the blame for the drama.
Dak's feeling about it is more important than me feeling about it, because Dak actually tangibly can cause his teammates to play at a higher level than I can. So when Dak is that positive about it, that adds some credibility to it. I too can say that the fact that Dak is looking at what he's looking at causes me to feel the same way. I think we've got a chance to really be good. It's going to be hard. It's going to be nip and tuck. As old Switzer used to say, we're going to burn some of these wagons on the way to California for firewood. We're going to lose some folks. We're going to have some barn, but the wagon train's going to get there. So bottom line is, I love the excitement. You guys, for all practical purposes, don't expect us to be a contender in the Super Bowl. Y'all don't. Why would you? I like that. I do. I like that. And I like what we put together to show you that we can do it.
Now,
Lindsay.
I'm kind of wondering who Jerry is talking about here. And I'm wondering, but I'm not wondering. Because did I not tell y'all this a few weeks ago? Jerry, just pay attention to what Jerry did in this interview. He almost indicted, but in a fun way. I don't want to take it to another level and take it so serious. But Jerry kind of tongue-in-cheek indicted the local media. Because he's going to say later on, they are a part of the drama that's been Jerry Jones in the past. Not only that, but Jerry says that y'all don't think. Y'all, who? How many videos have we watched, Cowboys Nation? How many videos have we watched of the Chris Cantys, the Foxworthys? You can go down the line. You can name it. The Peliceros, all these people. How many people outside of Cowboys Nation have been saying the Dallas Cowboys are absolute Super Bowl contenders? How many? There are so many people right now that believe the Dallas Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. You know who don't believe the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders? The local Dallas Cowboys media. Let me tell you something. It is strange to me how people outside of this sphere of what we are, Cowboys Nation, they believe more in what Jerry Jones and this team has done than a lot of the local Dallas Cowboys supposedly beat writers. And they're entitled to their opinion. They can think whatever they want to think. But Jerry is talking locally. He can't be talking regionally because there are so many people. We just keep hearing them over and over. We heard, who was it? Louis Riddick. We just listened to Louis Riddick last week talking about. He said he can't believe that he's saying it. But the Cowboys are serious Super Bowl contenders. Who is Jerry talking about? I know who he's talking about. I know who he's talking about. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. For as much as people say a lot of negativity comes from outside the Cowboys nation, yeah, there's a lot of negativity that comes from within Cowboys nation. I'm talking media, content creators, you name it. A lot of that stuff comes from within side of. And Jerry just said it. He gonna say it again. Just keep listening.
Hi, Jerry. Lindsay Theory from ESPN. You said you like the perception that it's been a quiet off season. A year ago, you did mention that you like to sometimes stir things up so that we are always talking about you. So was it kind of a conscientious decision going into this off season to keep what you guys were busy with quiet and more behind the scenes than being maybe stirring things up in front?
Yeah. I've never thought that there was anything quiet or subdued about the Dallas Cowboys. I'd never thought of it that way. But I have been guilty of stirring it up.
Wait, what? Wait. What did Jerry just say? I've been guilty of stirring it up. Okay. Watch the next part.
Guilty of stirring it up. And you guys helped me.
What?
And we have been a great team. I promise.
Jerry said that tongue in cheek. He was dead serious. Jerry was dead serious.
You can't handle the truth.
There ain't no joking in there. That was not a joke. That was not a joke. For as much as Jerry has been a part of and the catalyst of the drama, my mama told me it take two to tango. It takes two to tango. It take two to tango. And there are a lot of people within this media who have been complicit with Jerry Jones. And that's why I'm laughing, because Jerry like, yeah, man, y'all don't believe that we're going to be contending for the Super Bowl. Who is y'all? Tell me who y'all is again. Tell me again. Who is y'all again? Because he can't be talking about the regional, the national media. There are a lot of people in the national media who are picking the Cowboys to be in the thick of this thing. He can't be, I mean, I can tell you, he can't be talking about me. Can't be talking about me. But again, there are a lot of people. And this is why this ship has been so hard to turn. This ship has been so hard to turn is that people, they're either skeptical about the Cowboys because of a lack of things Jerry has done. And even when he does things right, people are still skeptical. People are skeptical because of things Jerry said. But watch this. They're not only skeptical because of things Jerry says, they're also skeptical because of things that people in the Dallas Cowboys media say also. I'm going to tell you something. And I thought this was kind of like, just like isolated to the Cowboys media. But after listening to the media of some other teams too, they are just as negative as some of the Dallas Cowboys media. So I'm not going to condemn the Dallas Cowboys media. I'm not going to condemn them. Because I'm telling you, there is no media out there worse than the Cleveland Browns media. But it's strange to me because when you get media that is supposed to be for the team, man, a lot of times you'll see the media for teams, some of these medias they destroy the teams. Well, Jerry had got the local media to the point to where it was almost like Jerry was the lightning rod for them to talk negative about the Cowboys. And Jerry was saying some of the, let's call a spade a spade. Jerry was saying some stupid stuff. Oh, there's no such thing as bad publicity. Really, Jerry? Huh. Strange, ain't it? I don't think Jerry thinks like that anymore. I don't think he thinks like that anymore. Man, you tell me all day long that there's no such thing as bad publicity. Keep getting bad publicity and then talk to me later. Yeah, keep getting bad publicity. Keep getting bad publicity and talk to me later. Don't work like that, man. At some point, man, you got to change the way you do things. Because I can remember like yesterday in 2024, and I was making a point to talk about this, that Dak Prescott was literally asking the local Dallas media to not write negative things about the team because we got a lot of rookies. What? Yeah. Do y'all remember that? Dak Prescott was asking the media not to do it. Yeah, he was asking them not to do it. You think they were listening to Dak? Nope. Nope, they weren't listening. But the thing that this shows me, no matter what Jerry says, it shows me that Jerry is listening. Yeah, Jerry is listening. Yeah, Jerry is listening. Yeah.
To that for the last 30-something years.
Yeah.
And so that does happen, and it is good. I don't believe it makes one iota worth of difference.
See, this is Jerry
on whether or not we
downplaying.
block the guy or go off tackle. But I do like the perception that we've had a quite uneventful off season, and let's see how we can work in that. Perception is big. Perception is big. But what I will tell you is I don't plan on doing anything around here for the next few days to stir anything up.
Exactly. Yeah. Hold on. Say it again, Jerry. Say it again. Jerry just told us that the drama that him and the media have stirred around the Cowboys all these years, it's made no difference. It didn't make the running back run different. It didn't make the lineman block different. It didn't matter. Well, you know what I found to be strange? When I think back to the Super Bowl eras of the Dallas Cowboys, you know what I noticed about them? No drama. No drama. Tom Landry, there were some players every now and then, whatever the case may be, media wasn't the same. But one thing we know about Tom Landry, ran a very tight ship. Jimmy Johnson came on board. The noise about the Dallas Cowboys, there was a lot of noise around it. It wasn't coming from inside of the building. Not no negativity. They were focused on winning. Jimmy wasn't focused on all this old nonsense. And even Jerry, in the grand scheme of things, man, Jerry wasn't focused on a whole bunch of nonsense either. They were trying to put together a team to go win the Super Bowl because Jerry knew that he had to win a Super Bowl in order to really make the changes in this league he was trying to make. Wasn't a lot of drama around the Cowboys like that in the 90s. Not like it is, man, Jerry was paying folk. Not like it has been over the last 30 years. And so the definition of insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is to keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. Well, I believe the Cowboys are going to prove Jerry Jones wrong this year. This quiet, productive, and active offseason, I think they're going to prove Jerry wrong. And I believe it's going to show up big on this team. It's going to be big dividends. It's going to pay big, big dividends. But again, you know, Jerry's trying to play this off, but you can't play this off. This is going to be good for this team.
John.
John Machado with The Athletic for Steven. As you come out here, you look at your roster. Do you feel like everything you need is on this current roster, or could there still be potential moves to be made?
I think there's always moves that you can make to be better. I mean, we're entertaining thoughts on players as we speak right now. I mean, Will does an amazing job of, getting the players and putting them in front of Jerry, myself, Schotty. And so we're always looking for ways to get better. I will say that I think we've done a good job of putting together a roster that's going to take the field today. They were out there working working out. That gives us a great opportunity to really do the things that we want to do, which is be a lot better than we were last year and hopefully compete for a Super Bowl. That's every team's goal. I'm sure if you ask 31 other teams in this league, their goal is to win the Super Bowl. And certainly when we go to work every offseason, that's our goal. And but I do feel like, we've done a really good job of, doing the things that we need to do to improve not only coaching but also players to give us that opportunity. But the other answer to your question is no, we're not finished. I mean, we're going to look for opportunities, every day to improve this roster. And obviously guys will go out on that field, they'll compete, and some guys will really show up and you'll be really pleased. And, like any team in any given year, even in years where we won Super Bowls, you're looking for ways to improve. As you go through training camp into the preseason and then ultimately into the season, you're always looking for ways to make your team better.
Now, I'm pretty sure y'all remember, I already talked about this. I said the Cowboys have 3 opportunities to improve this team. After July 15th, we're going to see where people either going to let players go the closer we get to the preseason, they're either going to let players go or they're going to extend them. We're starting to watch them extend players. We're also going to see them start cutting some players. We're going to see what's going to happen at the preseason cut down. They'll be able to improve the team then, all the way up until the trade deadline. We're going to see what they do then. But y'all remember, when they hired Brian Schottenheimer, this is when I really started believing in the Dallas Cowboys more than I had in the past. Stephen Jones said, my goal is to build the best roster in football. Do y'all remember that? And the reason why I'm still riding with Stephen Jones on this, because Stephen Jones has yet to say we have the best roster in football. When you think about having the best roster in football, it's really the way a GM should be thinking from this perspective. It's really almost unobtainable. It's really almost unobtainable. Is it really possible to have the best roster in football? And really, you don't really know you have the best roster in football usually until after you win the chip. But in some senses, the reason why I say it's unobtainable, because I think where Stephen Jones really is that when you're talking about building the best roster in football, you're really talking about winning the best. You're really talking about having the best team in football. And it seems like that's really the road the Cowboys are going down. Because having the most talented roster or having the best roster in football, and again, he didn't say the most talented, but to have the best roster in football, if you're not careful, people will say that that's all about players. That's about players that fit. It's not just about getting any player. That's about also getting players that fit. But again, Stephen Jones, he dropped the breadcrumb. Stephen Jones said, as we speak, and this is what's going to really open up Jerry, as we speak, we're looking at players. Yep. This is what's going to really open up Jerry Jones.
With Donovan Ezerasu, Daron Bland, do you expect them both to hit the ground running right from the beginning of camp, or will they need some time to get acclimated? And is there any other players that might?
No, Easy and Daron will be the 2 guys that we'll just monitor, but we don't see any restrictions. We're just going to be smart with them because they missed the spring. But we're very, very healthy going into camp, and hope that continues.
Thompson's ready to go?
Yeah, doing great.
We don't see any PUPs or NFIs at this point. Obviously they got to do a little work
Is this not amazing for the Dallas Cowboys? Is this not amazing? We're literally going into Oxnard, California with no injuries. Praise be to God. That's all I can tell you. I can't remember a season where the Cowboys were 100% healthy. Praying that it continues all the way through Oxnard, California. Praying for health. It's the one thing I want. If there's anything that's at the top of my list, it's the Dallas Cowboys team health. It's the team health. But this is amazing what he's saying.
Out here, and we'll see. But right now, talking to Jim and Britt, we don't feel like we'll have anybody start on the PUP or the NFI.
That in itself is a victory. Yeah, hey, Jabril, hey, Quinn, you've been here, man. I've been saying this stuff. A lot of the stuff that they said today is just stuff that I've been telling us all along. It's not that I'm a prophet as in, yeah, man, I know how to see in the future. I'm just looking at what they're doing. What I keep telling y'all, faith is the evidence of what? Things not seen. You want a Super Bowl? You want a Super Bowl? Okay, show me that you're doing the things that it takes to get a Super Bowl. And they're doing it. And that's why I have so much faith as it applies to the Cowboys and what they're doing.
Nick Harris, Forward Star Telegram. Jerry, you kind of alluded to it a bit ago. A lot of change on the defensive side of the ball. So there's a process that you're going to have to trust throughout training camp and this season. How do you balance trusting that process, but also with the urgency to win?
We don't have any alternative. We made that bed when we brought in new scheme, new coaches, new players. We're going with new right there. So I've bought into that. That's going to happen. We're here. Now, in dealing with it, we've got to start out here right now doing as best we can and bringing that thing to opening day and having these guys as ready to go and having the new guys that are new to being here at Oxnard and Cowboys, have them ready to go. One other thing I'd say that Stephen was commenting on is, candidly, I'd be very interested. I'd give up future to add substantive to.
I told you, Stephen Jones, hey, when he said what he said, Jerry said it's okay to say it now.
Where we are today,
yeah,
as a player, to give you an idea
Ooh.
About would I invest something substantive to get the right kind of deal to improve us opening day? I would. I feel that good about this team this year.
Oh, wait. Now watch what he said. Opening day. You know what that's telling us? There could be a deal done before the season starts. What did I tell you? This is why I'm rolling with this version of the Joneses. This is why I'm rolling with this version of the Joneses. They are focused on trying to get the best team they can. I don't think it's about getting the best talent. I think it's about getting the best team. I don't think the best roster means it's the most talented roster. But it's the roster that works together the best. The roster that fits the system. The roster that goes out there and execute, and they are hungry for the championship. But Jerry just let the cat out of the bag. Hey, we looking, man. We looking. JCT, he said, what up? He said it's crazy how much Steven sounds like his dad. It's almost creepy, but it is what it is. Can't wait for Dak and those wide receivers to cook. Well, I can tell you this, they on the same page. They are on the same page. Yeah, Quinn, they are saying it. We're still looking. I told y'all, man, they're still looking. I told y'all, I said, I guarantee you they're going to continue to improve this team. Star Garden, he said, hey, appreciate that super chat. Star Garden said, gee, doesn't this opening press conference even sound different than past years? It does. It does. This press conference was more business and focus to me. Yes. Appreciate that super chat. Star Garden next. Even though Jerry opened it up, even though he opened it up, he didn't open it up in a way to where it almost became goofy. I mean, he opened it up as much as he could, as in saying, nah, man, we're trying to get that chip, man. Bass in the building. What up, Bass? Trying to get that chip, man. He trying to get that chip, man. That's what he doing. Frank Lawson, Cowboys fans, stop the same mistake, making it sound like it's no big deal to win a Super Bowl. Boy, it is. The most successful teams have won 6 Super Bowl trophies out of 60 seasons. Yeah, it's a big deal. What up, Lonnie? Yes, sir. I appreciate you. Hey, man. Jerry cooking, man. Jerry cooking.
And, of course, you know that I haven't seen this team play together. And so, but in general,
there
looking
it is.
ahead, I think we've got a chance to be worthy of spending some future if we saw an opportunity.
Now, Jerry is going to start backpedaling. If you hadn't watched this, he's going to backpedal a little bit because Jerry he ain't trying to play his whole hand. You know, he ain't trying to play his whole hand, so pump the brakes, Cowboys fans. He ain't trying to play his whole hand. Jerry ain't trying to get everybody hyped up, but it's kind of hard not to get hyped up when you listen to what Jerry is saying. He kind of pulled back a little bit, but I hear exactly what he's saying. We're going to see what we look like. We're going to see what we look like because I'd already said this too. It only makes sense to see what you look like in Oxnard, California. August the 11th is going to be here before we know it. When we do that scrimmage against the Rams, because we're not going to see the starters in the preseason. When we see that scrimmage against the Rams, hey, open up your eyes right around that time. Open up your eyes right around that time. If they see a need and an opportunity, I believe they're going to go for it. Yeah, Charles Lundy, I saw this whole thing about Vita Vea. I saw it. We're going to see. We're going to see what it do. But there's going to be some other things in this interview that's it's going crazy. But Jerry Jones, he had to pull back a little bit. He's like, hold on, I can't play my whole head.
Those kinds of conversations that are ongoing, or is that something, hey, let's look at the first 2 weeks of camp and then address to see if you want to put something substantive?
I talked.
Quinn, he just said it, bro. Quinn, if they see somebody worthy, they are going to give up that next first round pick. Yep. They're going to give it up. They're going to give it up. Oh, you said watch the tackles and running backs versus the Rams joint practice. That's what I'm watching. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, cornerback too. I'm looking at cornerback, and running back. But I think they're going to be good at running back, but I'm definitely going to be looking at that cornerback situation. But I'm going to let them get there before we talk about the next player.
Yesterday, I talked about a situation yesterday with another team. And
wow. Wow.
Yesterday.
Talk with a team yesterday. Come on, Jerry.
Patrick.
Hey guys, Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. Jerry, Steven, Coach Brian, welcome back.
Thank you.
This is more so to you, Coach Schotty. Obviously, you come out to Oxnard just like last year. This year, your task list is probably a little bit longer because you have some things that you want to improve upon over last season. Speaking generally, leaving Oxnard in the next 3+ weeks, what do you need to see happen out here to be able to say, you know what, we did everything that we needed to do to be contenders to start the season?
Yeah, I think it comes down to the work ethic, the way we practice. You know, I've made it very clear we expect to have very physical practices, not only against ourselves, but we got the 2 joint practices against New Orleans and the Rams. And so I look forward to that. I'm going to go back to Nick's point, like, competing against the defense every day. I'm very confident in what they can do.
Yeah.
The scheme it fits us well. The personnel moves that we made in bringing in Rashawn Gary and D. Winters and Caleb Downs and Malachi Lawrence, all those moves that we made, it was not a quiet offseason for us. And it was a great offseason for us.
Yeah, I agree.
And one that we worked extremely hard on, starting with the coaching search. And I feel amazing about what we did, bringing in the defensive staff changes with Christian Parker leading the way, and then into free agency and getting Jalen Thompson, a guy. I mean, it has not been a quiet offseason. It's been an awesome offseason. And I think that's why we're excited. But now the goal is the Super Bowl. We don't shy away from that, but you got to trust the process. We haven't even had one practice yet. We've had a little bit of mobility run today, but the first practice is tomorrow. We get through this ramp up, but I think you're going to see a very, very confident football team coming out of Oxnard.
What up, Poopy D?
Quick follow-up to that. I know that you want to have physical practices. And what's the challenge, though, of upping the ante in that capacity, but also living within the CBA restrictions of doing so?
Yeah, there's less restrictions. There's more caps when you get to training camp. The spring practices or the OTAs have more restrictions than we do, but we do everything letter of the law. And if it's an hour 30-minute, which is what tomorrow will be, we'll be right at that. But you got to get better playing football by playing football, and that's what we're excited about.
Jane.
Jerry, you didn't say it loudly, but the word substantive stood out to me. You were engaging with the Raiders about giving something up substantive as it related to Max Crosby. Now, you don't have to tell me it is Max, but could you, one, why did you walk away from Max Crosby when it fell apart with the Ravens and not revisit that then?
That's a great question about James Slater, but I'm sure, the Cowboys doctors are the ones who checked on Max Crosby. At least this is what they're saying. But I believe they're going to circle the block on this Max Crosby thing. I told you that before. I said, do not be surprised after Max Crosby released that cryptic social media message. Do not be surprised. Max Crosby's name is going to come up again.
We didn't.
On that
no, no, because there's nothing more to elaborate about. But we did not walk away. That's about all there is to say. Because
whoa, wait, what? Hold on a second. Hold, stop the press. Breaking news. Breaking news. The Cowboys actually didn't walk away. This is what Jerry just said. They didn't walk away when the Max Crosby deal failed. What does that mean? What does that mean, Cowboy fans? Wait a minute. Are we saying that we didn't walk away? We just gonna revisit? Is that what we saying? Or did we say, no, we're going to push this down the road a little bit? I'm telling y'all, I told you before, this Max Crosby stuff is going to come up again. Because I don't think the Raiders and Max Crosby are in a place where where Max Crosby was trying to say that it was. I don't think they're in that place. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm just not going to be surprised about Max Crosby. I'm just not going to be shocked. It sounds like that this thing with Max Crosby, they haven't walked away. It's right there. It sounds like it's right there.
But we understood his injury well, and so we thought he could help us then, and we're surprised the way that was resolved, but to basically take what happened with him after he came home from back to the Raiders, to inject anything about what we're thinking or doing.
Yeah, I see you, Jerry. I see you. I see you, Jerry. Yeah, Jerry moonwalking, y'all. Hey, Jerry moonwalking. Jerry don't doggone well, man. Jerry don't doggone well what he just said, Baz. He said not right now. He know what he just said. Jerry trying to back up and hey, wait, hold on a second. I'm letting too much out of the bag. I'm not going to be shocked if Max Crosby is with the Cowboys. Just not going to be shocked.
And because he went back to the Raiders would be a mistake.
He's a Raider.
He's a Raider.
With that being said, would a player of that caliber be someone that you would be willing to engage with another team in 2 weeks, so that we're not all speculating?
Again, let's don't hypothetical here and be used specifically a player in a hypothetical situation. That is tampering. That really is.
Yeah, Jerry, we know what you're doing, bro. We know what you're doing. We know what you're doing. You moonwalking, bro. You moonwalking, but you stepped in that doo-doo. You stepped in that dog doo-doo, bro. I know you trying to get the doo-doo off the shoe by moonwalking, Jerry. You stepped in that doo-doo. You said we didn't walk away from it. Now, that ain't what Jerry said before. Now, it sounded like one time when Jerry talked about this, if I remember, he was talking about the injury and this and that. And yeah, the injury run, so we walked. Now he's saying, we didn't. Yeah, we see you, Jerry. We see you. We understand you don't want to get in trouble with the league. So when you sign Max Crosby in about 3 to 4 weeks, everybody won't be saying Jerry was already talking about signing Max Crosby. We hear what you say. We see what you saying, Jerry.
And so we don't want to talk like that and act like that. But that is a good example of what you can stand ready if, in fact, you think the rest of your team is coming along well, then those things stay alive. If all of a sudden you don't think it's coming along well, then those things don't stay alive. It is a good indicator of how good we feel about the team, the fact that we could do things like you're talking about right there.
Now, let's follow something that Jerry is saying. I think it makes a lot of sense. Seeing what the Cowboys are, this is actually going two ways. It's actually going two ways. Because Jerry actually mentioned this early on. They want to see what the team looks like. They're not only wanting to see what the team looks like as far as, okay, hold on a second. We Daron Bland, let's just say for sake of argument, Daron Bland is not looking right. So they're saying, he's saying, okay, well, we may have to go get a corner. But there's another part of the opposite side of this is what Jerry's explaining right here. If we look like we're Super Bowl ready, if we come out and we smash on the Rams in that scrimmage, we smash on the Saints in that scrimmage. I mean, we come out of this preseason, this training camp in this preseason, and this team looks like it's absolutely on fire. You go get Max Crosby if you think this team is absolutely on fire to say, hey, man, our team is playing so well that a player like Max Crosby might absolutely push us over the top. That's what he's saying. Because I think there's another part of this discussion. If the Cowboys come out and look sloppy the entire OTAs, the system, they don't have the system down, they're struggling real hard, you don't go out there and get Max Crosby. You look at that mess and say, okay, we're about another year off. So rather than giving up that first round pick next year, now we're going to keep that and see kind of where we are by midseason. And maybe if we look like we need to look by midseason and it look like we can make a push, then we'll go and revisit it. So I see what Jerry is saying on both sides of this. Because you can't look at go to Oxnard, California. Let's say we're in Oxnard, California. You say, hey, man, we look pretty good, but we're not really one player. We need about 2 to 3 more time to develop all this. He's not going to go do Max Crosby. He's not going to do Max Crosby. Yeah, exactly, Quinn. Yeah, he's not going to. And again, see, I think some people may be taking this the wrong way. Max Crosby is that move that says, no, this team ready. Jerry mentioned that earlier. If this team is ready, I mean, it's dog ready to fight for that Super Bowl, that's when you're going to see a serious push to go get a Max Crosby type of player. But if you're looking at 3 or 4 players, you're not going to get Max Crosby because getting Max Crosby when you're 3 or 4 players away doesn't maximize Max Crosby. It doesn't maximize him. You maximize Max Crosby by saying, no, we're ready to contend for the Super Bowl. Everything looks good. Go get Max Crosby. So I see what he's saying. Sandy Nice said, thought Jerry was talking about being in on the trade a few months ago when Max Crosby was traded to the Ravens, never walked away. The Raiders took the Ravens offer that fell through due to a technicality. Yeah. Now, a lot of people were saying the Cowboys walked away, but Jerry clarified they didn't walk away. Jeremy Ben said, I was just saying that in the case, may need another position or can get some contracts extended one piece away is the thing. If we're not one piece away, it makes no sense. There it is, Jeremy Betts. That's exactly what Jerry just said. Sometimes we have to translate for Jerry, but that's exactly what Jerry just said. You're not going to go get Max Crosby if you look at this defense and you're like, man, this thing is, I mean, it's not that Christian Parker isn't doing a great job, but this thing don't look right. I mean, it might be Thanksgiving by the time this thing is right. Well, you don't even fool with Max Crosby. You don't even fool with Max Crosby. But if you come out of, catch what Brian Schottenheimer said, if you come out of Oxnard, California, and you again smashed on the Rams, smashed on the Saints, and even the backups look good in preseason, oh no, bro, it's Max Crosby time. Shoot. Man, it's hey, y'all remember the Power Rangers? It's morphin' time, baby. It's morphin' time. If that defense is on point, it's morphin' time. No doubt about it.
Really got to emphasize here because it is flat. He is such a Raider. He's complete a Raider, happy a Raider, everything in the book. And
hey Jerry, you can't sell us, bro. You can't sell us no more. Jerry, you walked it back enough. You don't know if Max Crosby is happy over there. I mean, because based on that text he sent out on social media, I don't think he's happy over there with the Raiders.
He'd be having this kind of discussion with him.
I just wanted to follow up, though, in terms of when you said that you would be interested in adding those players. Has that been part of the process this year of, you know, you guys really, you've talked in the past about looking in the mirror. You've talked about the windows closing. And the last time that you really did this sort of soft rebuild was back in the early 90s. Have you guys been very deliberate as it relates to this roster and then waiting to not get one of these big fishes possibly in the offseason, but waiting to see what your team looks like heading into camp?
Let me say this, and that was a mouthful for your question, and a good one. Seriously, very much in that look is looking right over there and looking hard and looking at our coach. Okay, where how is he? This is second year, his 33rd year in the NFL on a coaching staff, but his second year as coach or some number. But you look at that.
Hey, Dudley, boy, hey, let me tell you something. Bass and Dudley, boys, man, I still like the Power Rangers. I don't know what y'all talking about, bro. Man, I watched the last Power Rangers movie. Man, I still like the Power Rangers, man. I'm from that era. I still like the Power Rangers, bro. It's morphin' time, man.
You look at what we have, you look at our quarterback, you look at our quarterback room, you look at all of that, and then you come up with a feeling. The feeling is that if we could get some things done right, avoid that injury bug, get some key areas, we got a shot to make something happen here.
Okay, and let's break this down goo goo gaga at what Jerry just said. So the Cowboys, and this is why I say I'm going to go back to my Jimmy Johnson barometer. I'm going back to my Jimmy Johnson barometer. The Cowboys in 1993. The Cowboys, I believe, won 11 games, and they went to the second round of the playoffs. When the Cowboys came out of 1993, they decided to go get Charles Haley in I'm sorry, I got my years wrong. In 1991. Did I say 91? In 91, when they went 11-5, they go into 92, and that team was so good. That's when they went and got Charles Haley. You don't get a Charles Haley in 91. You get a Charles Haley in 92. It's the same thing with Max Crosby. Yeah, I finally got my years right, Jeremy. You don't pull the trigger on Max Crosby. See, Jerry is explaining a process here. And now just catch on to something that Brian Schottenheimer said. Brian Schottenheimer said, we're going to come out of Oxnard, California. We're going to come out looking, I can't remember the word he said, but we're going to come out looking red hot or fantastic, whatever the case may be. See, that's what they're looking for. That they're basically saying that at the end of training camp, or somewhere in there, they're going to say, hey, man, this team looks so good. Max Crosby might put us exactly or be that piece that really puts the icing on the cake or the cherry on top of this thing. That's exactly what he's saying. You don't go get Max Crosby now because you got to maximize Max Crosby. You got to maximize him. You got to get him in the year that you know all the chips are right there in the middle of the table. We're going for the gusto. Yeah. The Cowboys, coming out of 1991, they went to the second round of the playoffs. And what did they do in 1992? They went and got Charles Haley. Yeah. They went and got Charles Haley. See, you got to put together a team in order. How many times have I said this? You have to put together a team in order for dominant players to be dominant. It don't mean that dominant players won't dominate on bad teams. They do. They pad stats. They make spectacular plays a lot of times because they're having to make spectacular plays. But when you put them on teams, they may not even look as good as they looked on their previous team. But because your team is so good, if they are even half as good as they were on their previous team, they push your team to a whole nother level. You take Myles Garrett. Anybody believe Myles Garrett gonna get 20 sacks this season? I'll be shocked if he gets 20 sacks this season. I'll be shocked. I'm actually expecting his sack total to go down. I'm expecting some of his stats to go down. Why? Because now he's going to be on a better team. I believe people around Myles Garrett, they are the ones who are going to benefit from Myles Garrett. They're going to benefit. Somebody else is going to get paid because of Myles Garrett. But when you put that right team together, it don't mean that Myles Garrett going to get 27 sacks. But oh, you better believe there will be moments in this season, if the Rams are good, oh, there'll be moments that them sacks that Myles Garrett get, they'll be worth more than any sack he ever got in Cleveland. I'll take a sack if I were the Rams. You would rather get a sack from Myles Garrett in the NFC Championship game. And it's the play that wins the game rather than getting 26 sacks and you home in the first round or you don't even go. You think about Aaron Donald in the Super Bowl against the Cincinnati Bengals. Aaron Donald didn't eat a whole lot that day. But guess when he ate? The last play of the bleeping game. And it made it all worth it. It made it all worth it. Even though some say he was offside, nevertheless, it made it all worth it. You got to put those types of players on dominant teams. Dominant teams. Because that's when those things that they do that are so special, they'll do them in special moments. They won't have as many of them, but they do it in special moments. And that's why it's important what Jerry is talking about. You got to get the team together before you even start thinking about approaching the Raiders, talking about, yeah, man, we're going to go and take Max Crosby off your hand. Now, I'm not getting Max Crosby to work another 2 years on going to the Super Bowl. If I get Max Crosby, it's this year we're going. And no later than next year. 2-year window. That's what we want. Bottom line. 2-year window.
I think the material, so to speak, are the players, the scheme, the measure of success we had on offense last year, the projecting of our offensive line being more efficient than it was last year, whether it be the player, whether it be as a group, as a team itself. All of those things are in place.
Yeah.
And it feels good. Now, we're going to have to read the tea leaves as we go, but we're operating as though we got a chance to be one of the better teams.
Yeah.
Joe Trahan.
Joe Trahan.
Joe Trahan, WFAA TV. This question's for Jerry and Schotty, and it's about the scope and impact of the brand on your players. Because your brand is so paramount, we can't talk about the lack of Super Bowl success for the last 3 decades. We just can't because you're too big. My question is about the message to your players in terms of what you tell them about dealing with the brand itself and also not letting that shadow affect their performance and how they get to be the best players that they can be.
If we had done nothing but win Super Bowls over the period of time you're talking about, what I'm going to talk to them about in a few minutes wouldn't have helped them at all with what's ahead of them tomorrow, the next day, opening day, and this season.
Now, I'm going back, and as I remember Jerry talking in this section, Jerry is doing what some people do, and I understand what Jerry is doing. We heard earlier where Jerry was basically saying that the quiet offseason doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. It does. And I think Jerry knows that it does. But I think that was Jerry's way of saying, yeah, man, it didn't matter. Yeah, because he was raising some of the hell. That's why. Yeah. He was raising some of the hell, or the catalyst of the hell raising, and so he basically wanted to say that didn't affect the team. I believe that it did. Now he's explaining, and he's basically saying that not winning for the last 30 years, not winning a Super Bowl for the last 30 years, has no impact on a team going into the next year. Now, I think that might be correct, kind of where this team is now. But make no mistake about it. If you are a team that won the Super Bowl last year, everything matters going into the next year too. Because the team that has already done it once, they believe they can do it again. The Seahawks believe they can do it again. Why? Based on the previous year's success. Based on the previous year's success. They're even more confident now. They were fighting for it last year, but they're confident this year. And they're going to try to defend their crown. I think we'll see a good defense of their crown. I just think they're going to run into some juggernauts this year. But they're going to try to defend their crown. It does matter to teams what they did do last year. Because you want to build on some of those things. If you did good things last year, you want to build on them. If you did bad things last year, you want to improve upon those things. You want to omit those bad things. That stuff matters. I see what Jerry's doing, but that stuff does matter. It does matter.
It is inconsequential. Okay, so it really is whether we have the kind of execution we want in the offensive line or whether or not we have the kind of discipline we want on our defense. As much as I'm a big believer in tradition, and it's such a big part of the entertainment and the game, it is not a prerequisite to being a good team this year as to what we have done the last few years. Now, if there are players on this team and coaches on this team that one of the reasons we haven't been to a Super Bowl, they're there and they don't improve, that's legitimate. But it's not legitimate worrying about how long it's been since you've been to a Super Bowl as to the first step they make on this football field out.
Now, I do agree with that part. I get what he's saying there. Some of these guys, man, I've been realizing how old I am here as of late. But there are guys who are going to be on that football field. They don't even remember the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. They don't even remember. Some of them were not even born. These rookies were not even born the last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, a 30-year drought don't really mean a whole lot to Caleb Downs. It don't really mean a lot to Jay Sean and Malachi. I mean, it don't really mean a lot to guys who are, I mean, even George Pickens, man, he's 25 years old. CeeDee Lamb, 28 years old. I mean, these guys are so young. Man, they don't even remember. They were not even born when the Cowboys won a Super Bowl. This matters more to the fans because some of us were born. Some of us did see the last time the Cowboys won. And then some of us are young. We haven't seen, they did, you know, some of us are young, haven't seen it and want to see it. And I get what Jerry is saying in the grand scheme of things is a 30-year drought doesn't really mean as much to these players today as it does the media and using that against the Cowboys as talking points. Now, I believe the guy was actually trying to say the same thing, just the way he put it. I think Jerry didn't get it, and that's why Jerry explained this. But he's saying the same thing that I'm saying. That you really, and y'all heard me, y'all been hearing me say this over the last couple of weeks as I've been having discussions with different people. I've been having different discussions with people in the chat. It does no good to keep talking about 30 years ago. It really has no effect on this team as much as people think that it does, especially when you talk about all these young cats. It don't have a hill of beans to do in the grand scheme of things. It's the fans that are more anxious. And I'm not saying that the team don't want to win, because they do. But when you start talking about 30-year droughts, I mean, they're sitting around talking about, yeah, I know understand it's been 30 years. You know, Frank Lawrence makes a great point all the time. There's some teams that have never been to a Super Bowl. Well, how should they be motivated? How should they be motivated? They never won a Super Bowl. Doesn't mean that they don't want to win a Super Bowl. So in the grand scheme of things, I get what Jerry is saying. It really doesn't mean a hill of beans in a discussion of the teams today.
Here. So that's the approach.
That's part of what I'm saying, right?
Now, I love how Schotty came back and cleaned this up. Schotty came back and cleaned this up very well. Watch this.
30 years ago has nothing to do with, you know, what they're trying to do. What's the message? Because again, we're in a different world here with the scope of social media and what these guys have to deal with as players. And unfortunately, they can't tune it out the way you'd love for them to just say, hey, filter out the noise. It can't happen anymore because social media has become too big. So how do you manage that and foster the message?
Well, you talk about the pride of putting on that star is different.
Yeah.
You know, I get up every morning, I put on this shacket, whatever you want to call it, the visor. Our guys put on their jerseys and their helmets, and they're proud of being a part of this. That's why we go to the lengths of having the legends back, and we let Drew Pearson stand up in front of the team and talk about their time. And that was their time, and it was awesome. But it's our time now.
Yeah.
And now what we do on the field is what matters. And so we celebrate the tradition. We're proud of what this team has done, winning the 5 Super Bowls, and we are in pursuit of that every day to get that 6th one. And not just for any one of us, but for them, you know, for the guys that have put so much into this game that they love so much. So
yes, sir.
It's very easy. I mean, it's a pride thing, and I talk to more people around the league, and there's a lot of people that want to be a part of what we're building because it's special, but also because of the Cowboys.
See, Schotty just made an excellent point. And this is what disturbs me about this younger generation. And I work with my sons on this all the time. It is very hard to do, especially in this social media age. Because one of the things that this era loves to do, it loves to erase history. It loves to erase history. It loves to paint all history as bad. It just likes to act like the history didn't happen. And so when you have a franchise like the Cowboys, what you want them to take pride in, you're not trying to talk about a 30-year drought, because they really can't connect with a 30-year drought. They really can't. The only thing they're connecting with is that, man, people are really negative about the Cowboys. I don't understand the big deal, and they're not going to say it out loud. I don't really understand the big deal about a 30-year drought. I wasn't even born then. But what you do have to remind them of is that this is the Dallas bleeping Cowboys. You have to remind them of the Super Bowls, how many they've been to, the great players that have been here, the mystique, the great coaches as in Tom Landry and You bring those kind of guys back to kind of show them, like, you got to keep this going. This franchise has achieved greatness. You are a part of greatness. Now go and create your own. Go and create your own story. This is what happened when Jimmy came here. They hated Jimmy and Jerry because they took the place of legends. So what did Jimmy and Jerry do? They decided to be legendary. They realized that they were in a legendary franchise, and they said, now it's time for us to be legendary. Yeah. Yeah, hey, create your own legacy. But understand the legacy that this team already has. Don't forget about what this team has done, as in the high points, the championships. Turn the ship. Now it's your time to start your era of Super Bowl wins.
I'm
like, Schotty, that's how you do it.
We rolled up out here on a bus. We were down at Thousand Oaks. We came up here to have a practice against the Raiders. Al Davis met us right out here on the field. Around this field were green fence and green tarp, as I think it might have been as tall as these structures right here. I mean, it was high. A cricket couldn't see in to watch the practice. It was that void of anybody being around or having any kind of influence on what goes on at practice. We have always been the opposite. We have wanted to practice in front of thousands. I personally believe that when you're out there, your pride, and you're doing a drill, that if you're sitting there doing it in front of thousands of people, that adds something to it. That adds some, not discipline, it just adds what you do when you're an athlete. I've always believed that. We've done that since the day we got here. When I used to practice in college, we'd go out there and practice, and 15 feet away from me, there were 1,000 people sitting on Knoll, sitting there watching it. You did not want to get your ass beat on a one-on-one drill in front of all those people. And that you played above your play level, you practiced above it with that skill. That's why, philosophically, I think it helps the team.
Yeah, I think Jerry, this question kind of threw Jerry, because this answer isn't even related to kind of what Schotty is saying, but I understand the gist of the conversation, that he's talking about pride, a sense of pride. You want players to have a sense of pride, when they play, play to win, play, whatever, to be the best, whatever the case may be. But I really do love the way Brian Schottenheimer has done what he's done. Brian Schottenheimer, because he's an older coach, and you probably wouldn't have got this from a younger coach, but because Brian Schottenheimer is an older coach, Brian Schottenheimer remembers those 90s teams, and Brian Schottenheimer wants to give this team something to aspire for. Because, Quinn says, they're playing on the biggest stage, and it's even kind of what Jerry's alluding to. But you want them to know why it's the biggest stage. It's the Dallas bleeping Cowboys. All the Super Bowls, the Tom Landrys, the Jimmy Johnsons. Now it's your time. You want to get that inside of their minds. But again, man, I'm telling you, with this younger generation, they're a little hard to motivate sometimes because they don't care about history. It's tough. It's tough, man.
To have the visibility.
Joe Hoyt.
Joe Hoyt, Dallas Morning News. Steven, there's a shifting defensive tackle market right now. Jalen Carter signed a record-setting deal today. Vita Vea wants to trade. Obviously, you guys are very bullish on Quinnen Williams. Is that something you anticipate maybe having to talk with him and negotiate here in training camp?
Absolutely. I mean, we're very open to that. We want to.
Quinnen Williams. Quinnen Williams' deal is loading. You can hear it. Yeah, man. I hear dollar signs. They are not going to do any drama with Quinnen Williams. I'm actually hoping And you know, regardless if I hope or not, listening to Jerry, I believe there's going to be a conversation, and I talked about this a week or two ago. The moment you see Quinnen Williams' deal gets done, get ready for another deal to get done. Get ready. Yeah, get ready. Get ready. When the Quinnen Williams deal gets done, and it's going to get done, Poobie D, I agree with you. They're paying him. And I am not going to be surprised. They're going to make Quinnen Williams more than likely the highest paid defensive tackle in the game. No doubt in my mind. I don't even think they're going to argue about it. He will be the highest paid defensive tackle in the game because the Cowboys, it's almost like they painted themselves into a corner. You can't trade for Quinnen Williams and then have a Quinnen Williams contract issue. He's a top 3, top 2 defensive tackle in the game. You got to do it. Quinnen Williams' deal is a no-brainer. You have to do it. Because if you don't do it, it makes the Micah Parsons trade seem dumb. You went and traded for Quinnen Williams. You gave him a first-round pick. That deal is loading right now. And Stephen Jones, I love it. He ain't even blinking. Yeah, we talking about it. Yeah, we talking about it.
Here, we want Quinnen here for the long haul.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've got a lot of resources tied up in him.
Yep.
And he knows what we think about him. We've, had some discussions with the agent about how to go about the process.
Yeah.
But certainly he's one of the best in the business. And we know, kind of what that market is. Obviously, it evolves and changes, with each new deal, which is the case, at any position. But certainly he's at the top of the list in terms of people that we want to keep around here long term. And there's other players on the roster that we may take a look at as well as we move forward. Camp seems to always be a nice time, to look at something like that.
Wow. Quinnen Williams is loading. Quinnen Williams is loading. I would say Overshown is loading. But the only way the Cowboys are going to do Overshown is that Overshown would have to take a pay cut. And that's probably why he wouldn't sign a deal this early, because he hasn't been healthy. I will not be surprised if the Cowboys try to look at extending Overshown. I'm not going to be surprised. But he's the only other one that I can actually see. But Quinnen Williams, that's a done deal. That's a done deal. I will not be surprised if that deal is done right before the first game of the season. And when that deal gets done, get ready. There'll be another player incoming.
You guys told George pretty early you did not want to negotiate with him long term and wanted him to play in the franchise tag. He responded by showing up for mandatory events and obviously coming to training camp. What does that tell you as the owner that George Pickens is doing all these things?
Well, he's a valued part of our aspirations and our potential success. The combination that he has with the other talent on the team, I think, will make you feel pretty positive about what we've got a chance to do. For the way we have worked this out is the way it fit. I'm proud that he will work it that way. I'm proud that he will. I hope that he comes out here and is the most prolific, successful receiver in the NFL this year. Now, how would you like to be a free agent and with his credentials and step out there and have a year like that?
Now, let me tell you something. This answer from Jerry Jones right here had me reeling a little bit. This one right here had me reeling a little bit. Because this made it sound like that George Pickens is this year only. That they're going to see what they can do this year with George Pickens, and then he's gone next year. Man, I'm telling you, this answer had me reeling a little bit. I was like, wait a minute, hold on a second. Did Jerry Jones just basically say that George balls out, he hits free agency next year and gets a huge contract? Well, we got to listen to the rest of this before we say it.
So I wish all of that.
What up, Gregory
because if that
Davis?
happens, that was good for us. And we did it the way that we thought was best for everybody concerned.
Nick Eatman.
Nick Eatman, DallasCowboys.com. This is for you, Coach. You've talked about 5 offensive linemen, the best offensive linemen on the field together. How do you go about finding that, but also building the continuity of the offensive line at the same time?
Yeah, it's a good question. Obviously, Nick, there's a ton of reps out here. We're going to this deal where, from left to right, Tyler Guyton, Tyler Smith, Cooper Beebe, Tyler Booker, Terrence Steele, but we're going to move guys around and pieces around. And at the end of the day, we've been very open about the fact we're going to play the 5 best guys. We'll find time to move Terrence Steele around. We'll find ways to move Tyler Smith around. But, at the end of the day, the OTAs are good for teaching scheme and some skill development. But it's not until we put the pads on for an offensive lineman that you can get the real, true evaluation of those guys. And we kind of have a timing period that we think we want to have that sorted out. But it's a ways from now.
Smith sounded yesterday a different answer than we've heard. He said he wasn't exactly sure. Is anything changed on his front of where he's going to play?
Yeah, he's going to start at left guard, and we're going to get him some reps at tackle. Why? Just because we got to be ready, but that's no different than Tyler Booker having to get some snaps.
What were some of y'all pushing back on me for a few months ago? Tyler Smith at left tackle? Boy, y'all gonna call me a prophet. Keep playing. Keep playing. Keep playing. I told y'all, man. Do not. You gotta ask yourself, for as much as everybody says that Ty Smith needs to be at the left guard, do we not understand how hard it is to find a left tackle? It's harder to find a left tackle than it is to find a left guard. Tyler Smith can be one of the best left tackles in the game right now. If the Cowboys said today, hey, Tyler Smith, you're playing left tackle, he'd be top 10. Minimum top 12. In the league. That's how good Ty Smith is. Now, we're hoping that Tyler Guyton comes out just balling this year, so it doesn't have to happen. But make no mistake about it, they have been leaving this door open, and I've been telling the people about Ty Smith at left tackle. Nobody wants to accept it. They're leaving the door open for Ty Smith. They're not going to close that door. What did I tell y'all just a couple of weeks ago? If Nate Thomas beats out Tyler Guyton, you think I'm starting Nate Thomas at left guard? I wish I would. I'm not starting Nate Thomas at left tackle if he beats out Tyler Guyton. Heck no. I'm going to move Ty Smith to left tackle. Because you can't go get a left tackle. Who are you going to go get? You'd have to literally trade somebody to get that left tackle. It ain't happening. Your best alternative would be to take a player on your team who you already know can be a top 12 left tackle in the game this year and could possibly be top 7, top 5 next year. Tyler Smith is that good and that dedicated. You've already put it into his contract that they've already put the left tackle wording in the contract. They've already put it in there. And I'm sure that if he switches the left tackle, they've already fixed it to where the money changes. They've already figured this all out. And so the Cowboys are leaving all their options open at left tackle. I'm just telling you, I've been saying this. They are leaving all of their options over. And so that's why when they say the best 5 guys, man, let me tell you something, man. Nah, bruh. I don't think they're going to take that chance on Tyler Guyton. If he looking sloppy out there, I just don't think they're going to take a chance on him. And if Nate Thomas beats him out, we're in more trouble than we actually thought.
Snaps at center, because at the end of the day, we're committed to winning and winning now, and we're going to play the 5 best guys. But again, I'm really excited to see Tyler Guyton, Nate Thomas, Drew Shelton. Those guys compete at tackle as well. So,
Tim.
Okay, now let's and I see the George Pickens talk. Don't worry. I had to listen to the rest of it. Jerry's going to circle. He's going to circle the block on George Pickens. Don't worry. He's going to circle the block on George Pickens.
Tim Kalashaw, the Dallas Morning News, still printing 7 days a week. Good to see all of you. Jerry, is that your helicopter, by the
way? I'll tell you this.
Long way out in a helicopter.
You're going to scrimmage the Rams in a couple weeks, and they won a Super Bowl 4 years ago, and you talked about them betting it all for 1 year. They were back in the championship game last year. They made huge moves to get McDuffie and Myles Garrett. Do you look at them and see maybe there's a way, more aggression, being more aggressive than you have been, that works in this era? Do you look at them as a model for that? Because you're talking about making a kind of move that you haven't been making.
Yes. I've had the discussion coming to camp with all of us. I admire the job that the Rams have done and how they've done it.
Now, this is a different Jerry Jones than from a few years ago. Now, I want you to notice Jerry did the same thing. He answered the same way this question, the same way he answered the Max Crosby question. Did anybody notice this? He gave a very definitive answer. Is there another way of doing things than the way they've done things in the salary cap era? As in, okay, the Rams went out there and McDuffie, for everything that the Rams have done, though, a lot of people don't realize, man, the Cowboys have made some heck of moves. The problem is we're not giving us enough credit for making Super Bowl moves. George Pickens, Super Bowl move. Quinnen Williams, Super Bowl move. Kenny Clark, Super Bowl move. A lot of people don't agree. Rashawn Gary, Super Bowl move. Jalen Thompson, Super Bowl move. Kobe Durant, we don't like it, but he was on a playoff team last year. Super Bowl move. D. Winters on a Super Bowl team. Super Bowl move. The Cowboys have actually made a lot of great moves already. What people are waiting, and our draft was way better than the Rams. Hello, somebody. Let me say it for the people in the back, because people in the back ain't listening. People in the back ain't listening. The Cowboys have made spectacular moves. The issue is people are waiting on that move, or what they call that move. People consider the Myles Garrett move to be that move for the Rams. We're going to see. That move for the Cowboys, people are licking their chops. Why? Because they believe it's Max Crosby. They believe it's Max Crosby. And that's why I want you to listen to how Jerry answers that question again. Watch this.
Compete at tackle as well. So,
Tim
Kalashaw, the Dallas Morning News, still printing 7 days a week. Good to see all of you. Jerry, is that your helicopter, by the
way? I'll tell you this.
Long way out in a helicopter.
You're going to scrimmage the Rams in a couple weeks, and they won a Super Bowl 4 years ago, and you talked about them betting it all for 1 year. They were back in the championship game last year. They made huge moves to get McDuffie and Myles Garrett. Do you look at them and see maybe there's a way, more aggression, being more aggressive than you have been, that works in this era? Do you look at them as a model for that? Because you're talking about making a kind of move that you haven't been making.
Yes.
Now, let's bring the whole conversation full circle. Sean McVay, does he make the Myles Garrett move? If he doesn't make the McDuffie move? If he doesn't make all the other moves they did first, and then they got Myles Garrett? Now, Jerry, back in the day when Jerry was talking crazy and saying he didn't like what the Rams did, understand this. Jerry was building the team different then. Y'all remember these dumb statements? We only go as far as Dak take us. Go into the playoff game with no linebackers. But we got Dak Prescott and we're paying him $60 million a year. Jerry's mind wasn't thinking the way it is now. But the way Jerry's mind is now, you can hear it in this entire conversation. It's this simple. What the Rams did, we may see the Cowboys make a similar type move, only if what? This team is ready right now. That's it. Sean McVay got Myles Garrett after all the other moves that he's been making over the last couple of years. That includes Davante Adams and others. Then he goes and makes all the moves that they made before they got Myles Garrett. And now they're saying, think about it, you got Puka Nacua, you got Davante Adams, you got a good running back room. Now you went and got Myles Garrett. You already had another pass rush to go along with another pass rush to go along with Verse. You already had another pass rusher. You got Myles Garrett. You went and fixed the back end of the defense. You went and did all of that, and that's why the Rams said, hey, I think this team is good enough that now Myles Garrett can come in and make that difference. So Jerry is saying yes now, because Jerry is starting to feel the same way, like, okay, if everything looks the way that we think it looks, we'll give up that first-round pick for next year. We may even give up a first and whatever else we got to get. We'll go get Max Crosby or someone else. We don't have to put our minds just on Max Crosby. Max Crosby or somebody else. Because that'll be the move that we think that now that we got a great team, that may give us that little edge that we need to push it over the edge. This is where Jerry is. And that's why versus when we heard him in that Netflix special back in 2023, because I think that's where that film was from, skip to 2025, now Jerry has a different attitude. He likes what the Rams have done. But look at what they've done in totality. Don't boil it down to Max Crosby. No, look at all the other moves they made before they got Max Crosby. Jerry is feeling the same way, like, I think we've made some moves. And I think the Cowboys' moves have been as good as the Rams, if not better. We're only waiting to see what the team looks like to say, are we good enough to say, all we need is one more player to push us over the top. Same thing Seattle did last year when they came and got DeMarcus Lawrence. And it don't have to be Max Crosby type player. It don't have to be Max Crosby. It could be just another player who's out there, and we might not have even thought of this player. Player may be good enough. So we're going to see. This is why Jerry got got that grin on his face like a Cheshire cat.
Yes. I've had the discussion coming to camp with all of us. I admire the job that the Rams have done and how they've done it. That swapping quarterbacks was gutsy. And so
that's the 2023 conversation or whatever that was. That's the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford switch.
They've done it. They've done it and moved. Yes, I admire the way they have put teams together and the way they have competed and sustained the competition. Yes.
New Jerry Jones. Not being disingenuous. Because before, he just kind of blew that off, but not this time.
Brian, when you look at last year, you're an offensive coordinator coming in. The offense was great. The defense was not. Beyond all the changes, coaching and players, do you look at anything you want to do personally, differently, in how you look at defense and how you examine or coach defense this year?
Yeah, and Tim, it started early on. I mean, we first started with the OTAs. I spent a lot more time on defense than I did last year. I think part of that is, again, excited to hear what Christian and the staff are doing. Him coming from the Fangio tree and the problems that it's kind of given us over the past, 10, 12 years of my time calling plays. But also, I think it's a lot to do with my confidence in Clayton Adams and the job that he's done. I mean, this guy is someone that I just think the world of, no different than what we did with Christian. We went through this process, Jerry, Steve, and myself last year when we found Clayton Adams. And so we'll have some really cool comp days at practice where I won't call the plays and I'll let Clayton and Christian, dial it up against each other. And, I'm looking forward to that because, we need to win as a football team, and we didn't do that enough last year. And that's why we made some of the tough decisions that we made. And you make those decisions to make changes, you better get it right. And I think we did that.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if y'all remember. Let me put you in remembrance what I said yesterday of what I was looking for when the Cowboys went to Oxnard, California. Angel Eyes is in the building. What's up, Angel Eyes? What's up? Angel Eyes said, I have to admit, Cowboys front office is moving different. It feels different, too. I believe it's good. Yes. Hey, Quinn, hold on. Jerry gonna clean that Pickens statement up. Don't worry about it. He gonna clean that up. Yeah, he gonna clean that up. Now, I don't know if y'all remember what I said the other day when we were on live. All I was looking for. And Schotty is already answering that question. Year 2 Schotty is what I'm looking for. How does he manage the whole camp? What did I put at the fourth one? How he manages Christian Parker. Yeah, how he manages Christian Parker. Because Schotty is going to be able to do something now with Christian Parker he could never do with Matt Eberflus. Schotty had to he literally, you could tell, he basically had to just he had to pull a power move on Matt Eberflus. And the way he did it was real slick. Announcers to the media, yeah, I'm going to be in the defensive room now. I'm going to be in the defensive room, going to go over there across the hall, whatever the case may be, blah, blah, blah. You can tell by the way Matt Eberflus was moving, he didn't appreciate that from Brian Schottenheimer. He didn't appreciate it. But Christian Parker, he's younger, a lot more respectful of a Brian Schottenheimer. Christian Parker is in his early 30s. Schotty's in his early 50s. He looks at Schotty differently than Matt Eberflus. Eberflus didn't look at Schotty as in a head coach. I guarantee you. He looked at him as in, yeah, you are the head coach, but I've been a head coach. I know more than you. I don't need you over here in my business. It wasn't until his failures that Schotty really started getting in his business. With Christian Parker, he's not going to have to worry about that dynamic because he hired Christian Parker. Yeah, man, I hired him. Yeah, I hired you, Christian. In essence, you're my defense coordinator. And I'm going to do everything I can do to get you to be successful. And I'm going to be in that defensive room. I'm going to be watching what you're doing defensively in training camp. And I'm loving the fact that he said he's going to let Clayton Adams call some plays. Let Clayton Adams call plays, which he'll be calling Schotty plays, so it won't be that big of a deal. But he'll get some time in calling plays. But we're watching a Schottenheimer, and this is what I was wanting to see. We're going to be watching a Schottenheimer that is actually the head coach of the football team. I'm telling y'all right now, I haven't seen this since Jimmy. Ever since Jimmy, it always seemed like it was a offensive team, a defensive team, and a special teams team. And Jerry was doing some real conniving stuff, hiring the coach that was going to replace the coach. I mean, just crazy stuff. Not this time. Schotty has command of this thing. So this is the part that I want to see. So I can check that box off. I can check that box off. Year 2, Brian Schottenheimer is in way more control and knows exactly what he wants to do, and he's starting it out in training camp. And that's how you build a winning team. I absolutely love this part of what Schotty is doing. He's probably wondering why he's sitting in this press conference, because this is not a press conference of all three of them. This is the Jerry Jones press conference. That's what this is.
Tommy
R, SouthCowboys.com. Brian, you've seen Christian work a little bit in the OTA setting, but what stood out to you about his plan over these next 3.5 weeks to get his players ready to play his defense?
Incredible communicator. I can't say that enough. The way you know he's an elite coach, Tommy, is when you walk by his office and multiple players are in there wanting to listen and talk to him about scheme and things like that. But the organization, the way he's organized this camp on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah, Bass. Yes, Schotty was a part of it. Schotty was a part of Eberflus. He was a part of it. He was a part of it. We don't know what percentage, but Jerry made it clear. We wouldn't have brought in Matt Eberflus if Schotty didn't sign off on it. You got to remember, Schotty and Matt Eberflus had crossed paths before. I got a friend of mine, and I talked to, me and another preacher. We talk sometimes, and, one of the things we talk about is, people, Schotty's got to understand it's one thing when you're working with somebody in a certain capacity versus you working, it's different. For example, you and Eberflus, maybe y'all were like assistant coaches or something. But it's different when you're working with Eberflus and you're the head coach and he's the fired ex-head coach of the Bears and he's your defensive coordinator and he brings in his whole crew. And then you start working with him and you realize how stubborn he is. It's different, man, when you're working in a different capacity. It's absolutely different. And so I believe Schotty, yes, he signed off on it. Absolutely signed off on it. But I believe once he really got to working with Eberflus, he realized he wasn't the guy that he wasn't the type of guy he really wanted to work with. And that's why he got smart at his butt. Got in that defensive room and made him look silly. Real Estate Vet, appreciate that the super chat. He said, G, Cowboys Nation, heads up. I can get y'all a condo next to the practice field in Oxnard, California, between $315,000 to $350,000 for one bedroom. I'm just Man, who could afford that, bro? Boy, that's some serious money now. I got some Monopoly money I can make it, but I can't make it without Monopoly money. Yeah, Bass said, why would you want that after he failed over there in Chi-Town? Because, Bass, you think about what a lot of these teams do, and Jerry's not the only one that does this stuff. You get these coaches, they used to be a head coach, get fired, what they do? First thing they do is get hired. You get guys like Robert Saleh, they get hired immediately as assistant coaches. Dan Quinn got fired with the Seahawks. What happened? Cowboys brought him in as a defense coordinator. He was off the chain. This teams do it all the time. All the time. Frank Lawrence said Cowboys fans who said Pickens would never play on the franchise tag are now worrying about him not playing in 2027. Getting a little ahead of yourself, you think? Yeah. Jerry gonna clean it up. You'll hear him in a moment. He'll clean it up. Bernard Field said, gee, the Joneses tried to make things right with Eberflus from his last stint. Yep. They thought that he was going to redeem himself, but he didn't. That was the issue.
From the individual section to the tackling circuit drills to the ball disruption drills to the install packages from first and second down fronts, pressures, coverages, things like that. He is a first-time coordinator that doesn't act like a first-time coordinator.
How difficult is it to, in your first year doing it, you had it as a head coach last year, like you mentioned, this is his year as a coordinator, to put together a plan like that for the first time?
I think if you've never thought about it in your years prior, is really hard. But Christian's been preparing for this for 4, 5, 6 years. He's known that this is where he wanted to be in the defensive coordinator chair of an NFL football team. And again, maybe the hardest working coach I've ever been around. And That's why we're so excited about not just him, but the staff that we put together. The amount of hours that went into identifying the strengths of Christian Parker, Chidera, Derek Ansley, these guys, I mean, it was tireless. And so that's why I laugh about it was a quiet offseason. It was on the outside, maybe with storylines, but for us, we worked our asses
Brave
off.
Cowboys.
I'm excited to finally see it all come out into real football.
Yeah, that's it right there.
Michelle.
What up, Blaine?
Jerry, do you personally feel pressure to win this season?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Now, y'all might not realize this. This is a different Jerry Jones. Very definitive answer. He's not giving you the story of the bullfrog and the scorpion. He's not giving you the story of the riverboat and the windmill. Jerry's not giving you all them crazy analogies. Jerry is giving very definitive answers. Yes. And now, let's go back. I don't know if Brandy is still on, but do y'all remember when Brandy said this? This is why I said, until you hear this, don't throw this in the trash. Schotty on the hot seat. Now, what does that mean? That's why I said I'm going to bring some clarity to what Brandy said. What does that mean? Schotty on the hot seat. That don't mean he's on the hot seat of getting fired. That don't mean he on the hot seat of getting fired. That means he's on the hot seat of you are expected to win. What did I tell y'all earlier in the offseason? What did I tell y'all? Don't let Jerry fool y'all. Don't let anybody fool y'all. Jerry hired Christian Parker because Brian Schottenheimer convinced Jerry Jones that Christian Parker is the accelerated program. Do y'all remember when I said that? Yeah, Christian Parker is the accelerated program. Brian Schottenheimer convinced Jerry Jones, because Jerry didn't know who Christian Parker was. Schottenheimer convinced Jerry Jones that Christian Parker was the best defensive coordinator he could get. Young, up and coming, innovative, up to date, smart, you name it. Schotty sold Jerry on Christian Parker. And I guarantee you, the conversation was this, and he won't even need a year to turn this defense around. He won't be like Nolan. He won't be Zimmer. He won't be Matt Eberflus. He's going to be more like Dan Quinn. He's going to come in and he's going to set this building on fire, set that defense on fire. If you get him the players that he needs, Jerry, Christian Parker will turn it around like that. This is why Jerry said what he said. Definitive answer. Jerry, you expect to win this season? Yes.
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah. Yeah. I told y'all before, this is the accelerated program right here, man. This is the accelerated program. This is like getting your kid a car. This is like getting your kid a car for school, and you don't give them the hand-me-down Buick. Now, you go to the lot and get them a Mercedes-Benz. 500 SL. Hey, this is what you driving to school. So we expect you to get to school with no problems. We expect you to get to school with no problems, never be late, be on time, anything else you name. Yeah, this is the accelerated program right here. This is why Jerry gave that definitive answer. I expect to win right now. And that's why if you listen to everything Jerry has said, have you noticed? Y'all might not have caught it earlier. Brian Schottenheimer said we're playing the best 5 people on that offensive line. Why, Brian? Because we're in win now mode. What? We're in win now mode. Y'all want to know again why Brandy said what she said off the rip? Schotty on the hot seat. Yeah. He on the hot seat. He's not on the hot seat of getting fired. That's not what he's on the hot seat of. But he is on the hot seat of, yeah, bruh, we're expecting you to win this year. Listen to all the things. If y'all haven't heard this part, this is probably the best part of the interview. Watch what Jerry says his expectations are. You don't think Schotty's on the hot seat? Okay, listen to this.
But it was a quiet offseason. It was on the outside, maybe with storylines, but for us, we worked our asses off, and I'm excited to finally see it all come out into real football.
Michelle.
Javonte, WFA. Jerry, do you personally feel pressure to win this season?
Yes. Yes, I do. For all the obvious reasons.
Wait a minute. The obvious reasons? What's the obvious reasons, Jerry?
We've got certain things in place here that won't stay in place. Now,
Wait, what? We got things here that won't stay in place? Do y'all hear what he just said? Right now. Because we may have some pieces on this team that won't be here next year or the year after. Are you hearing?
Personally, think that when you haven't done it before, when you're not necessarily young, you just haven't done it before, I think that is a huge value to your associates. I think that you not ever being some of the things you've always wanted to do. And I think we're going to get a lot of that. Obviously, it's a great thing to have experience of somebody that's done something for 20 years. But that is a good pressure to be involved with a group that has really, they can do something they haven't been a part of. I saw where Williams said he's never been a part of a playoff team. Now think about that player. As accomplished as he is, hadn't been a part of a playoff. Well, there is a big plus there. That's good. So I like the makeup. I'm aware that we're doing some things for the first time in a lot of places, but I think that's going to be offset by with our coaching, the makeup of the coaching, and frankly, the mix of some of the new guys, yet they are veteran players as they mix with some of the newer guys that are, if you will, last year were playing college. I think all that is a big plus. We'll see. I don't care whether they are rookies or whether they're 10-year guys. If they can't communicate with each other when they get out there, it didn't make any difference on an individual basis where they were. And one of the main things that I have heard us talk about and say in interviews, countless interviews, and after we made the decision of who's going to be doing the coaching, the word of communicate, talking to each other, understanding what it is that the other one expects of the other one. This thing is ad nauseum, the chant. If you listen real hard out there when you're watching practice, you'll hear it be one of the real focal points of this whole camp is communication.
Deuce.
Mike Ducey, Fox 4. Brian, you may have answered this in part, but in spite of how long you've been around the game.
If y'all didn't hear Jerry say right now, oh no. Jerry said right now, man. Man, Jerry said right now. Jerry said right now. Sure, Angela said it's real. Shit, no excuse this year. Jerry said right now, y'all. Shoo. Jerry said, hey, and he ain't done. He ain't done. He gonna make another statement, and he gonna get even more specific. Yeah, said tonight, Jerry finally realized this time is limited. Shoo, no more nights at the club. No more nights at the club, man. Yeah, Bad said he knows he been up to that BS. Now Schotty's mortality has made him realize he got to see one before he departs. You got to get him another one. You got to get him another one, Bass.
Are there things, or maybe one thing in particular you experienced having gone through this yourself the first time last year that will serve you especially well in year 2?
Yeah, I mean, Mike, it's a longer story than just one response. I mean, you learn things every day when you go through this process. I think, there's countless lessons that you learn. I'm real big into doing after-action reports on everything that we do, from the way we, grade film, the way we throw a practice, the way we have a mock, the way we have a meeting, things like that. And I'm also real big on not rinsing and repeating. What I mean by that is I don't like the first team meeting to feel like the same first team meeting that was last year, right? I think players in this era tune you out. So, but the big thing coming out here is I want us to practice, and I want us to have, really physical practices. And, we know how to practice the right way. We know how to.
I'm going to tell y'all something to get ready for. I believe we are going to see a different Schottenheimer in practice this year. I believe he is going old school, Jimmy Johnson, Marty Schottenheimer, old school. And I'm telling us, y'all remember last year he had these guys running and restarting practice and all this? Schotty going to be hard this year. Schotty is going to be hard on these Cowboys this year. He taking off the gloves, man. He done took off the cooking mitts. Man, he getting them pans out the stove with bare hands, man. Schotty is going for real, y'all. He going for real.
Protect one another, but we're excited about getting out there on the grass and playing real football, and but there's a number of things. I'm always learning, and I honestly lean on everybody. I lean on the players. I lean on Jerry and Steven and Will, and the way I make decisions is by talking, and it helps me to think out loud like that.
Jerry, Super Bowl's come up a dozen times here already. With that said, what would have to happen for you to consider this a successful season for your football team?
Uh-oh. Y'all get ready. Jerry about to unleash, man.
Oh, I think to contend for a Super Bowl, which would, if you contend, you got a real chance of being in it and being in the game. I think those are the kinds of things that I don't believe are an outlandish or a reach to expect.
What? What? Y'all hear it? Jerry is about to unleash. Did y'all hear what he said? Let me put Brandy's statement back up here again. Y'all remember when Brandy said this? Jerry Jones just said, I don't think a Super Bowl is outlandish. Jerry just said, I don't see a Super Bowl as outlandish. I'm not telling y'all Schotty is on the hot seat as in fired. He's on the hot seat of production, of expectations. Man, let me tell you something. Expectations, hey, it's either going to bust the pipe or it's going to create diamonds. Expectations is another fancy word for pressure. It's pressure. Man, when you set the expectations, that's pressure.
And so that's a successful season. I expect us to be significantly improved defensively.
What did I tell y'all? What did y'all gonna call me a prophet? I'm telling you. Y'all gonna call me a prophet. I told y'all this months ago. What did I tell you Christian Parker was? The accelerated program. What did Jerry say? I expect to be significantly better on defense. What? With a first-year coach? Yeah, you better believe it. Sure.
You can't handle the truth.
You better stop playing. You better stop playing. Jerry's been telling us this the whole interview. I got the coaches. I got the players. And I'm ready. If they show me they're ready, I'll go get them something else. But I got expectations. Jerry said I got expectations. And Baz, I love you said show me first, don't tell me twice. Baz, Do you know Jerry Jones is saying the same thing?
You can't handle the truth.
Hey, Schotty, you told me that you're going to give me the best culture in football. You told me that Christian Parker is this new hotshot accelerated program coach, and he going to set us on fire. I got expectations. Now I need you to show me. Yeah, man. I need you to show me. And guess what? Hey, Dak Prescott, he is not omitted from this. Expectations. Now, the good thing about Dak, he got expectations for himself. As old as Jerry is, well, Dak Prescott said, I'm 33, bruh. I got to get one before I get out of here, too. So Jerry and Schotty, Jerry and Dak, they're hand in hand in this. They're both feeling the same thing. Dak is 33. He wants to get one before he gets out of here and go and raise his daughters. Jerry want to get one before he hit that grave box, man. He want to get one. Jerry is saying, bruh, expectations. You don't think he's talking about Schotty? He said, I want the defense to be better. Watch the next part.
Significantly improved. And I actually expect us to improve over on the offense.
What?
You can't handle the truth.
What? What? Yeah. Hey, Schotty. Top 3 offense. It can be better. Yeah, man. Yeah. It can be better. Jerry's got expectations. That's why we're saying he on the hot seat. Not isn't getting fired, but he's on the hot seat of, bruh, we're not giving you a year. We know you got a new coach and all that. We're not giving you a year. Nah, we got the accelerated program. It's called Christian Parker. We want results this year.
And I expect the enthusiasm that Coach has talked about here to be contagious on the field.
What?
And if some.
What? The enthusiasm the coaches told you? Do y'all hear what Jerry is saying? Yeah. Y'all told me that if I went and did this and got this and hired him and hired her and hired whoever, that this is going to translate on the field. They're going to play well. They're going to be enthusiastic. Yeah, I expect to see it. Yeah. I don't know about y'all. I've never heard Jerry talk like this. I've just never heard Jerry talk like this.
Something like that happen, you can have somebody get in the big hunt and get in the deal that maybe a lot of people didn't think were ready for it. So let me just say this: there's no way that I would do anything that would delay until next year or the next year to try to get to a Super Bowl this year.
What? What did Jerry just say, y'all?
You can't handle the truth.
Jerry said, I'm in right now. Jerry said, I'm in right now. And I want results. Boy, I ain't heard Jerry talk like this, man. Not like this. This is very definitive talk from Jerry. Now, y'all might not remember, I pointed out a few weeks ago. Christian Parker said what? Mr. Jones has a very clear-cut plan and expectation for this team. Yeah. Christian Parker said that.
I feel that good about what we're starting with that, and it kind of alludes over to what we were talking about if a trade or something like that came along.
Full circle.
We certainly can think about, as far as my focus, my individual focus is concerned, I'm interested in being as good as we can opening day.
What?
You can't handle the truth.
Did y'all hear what Jerry Jones just said to his team? Jerry Jones just told his coaching staff, show me why I need to go get Max Crosby. Show me. Show me. All this stuff y'all told me, show me in Oxnard, California. Show me. Show me why I need to go give up my first-round pick for next year. Show me why I need to give it up for Max Crosby. Do we hear what Jerry is saying? Right now. Right now. I'm not going to get in the way of right now. Show me that I need to go get somebody else. See, some folks say, Jerry just need to go get people. No, Jerry's saying, I've already went and got you people. Let me count the ways. I got you the defensive coaches that you wanted. I got you BT Jordan. I got you some of the draft picks you wanted last year. I came back this year. I got you Caleb Downs. I got you Jay Sean Barham. I got you Malachi Lawrence. Man, I even went in there and got you LT Overton. I went and got you players. I got you Jalen Thompson. I got you Kobe Durant. I got you Rashawn Gary. I went and got you everything. Now show me why I need to go get Max Crosby. Show me. Because you told me if I do this and I do this and I get this, that this is going to translate, this Oxnard, California going to be off the chain. Show me now why I need to go spend more money. Show me. Yeah, man. It's called ROI, Return on Investment. See, some people don't understand how business works. When I go out there and I start making investments, I want to see some of those investments play out before I say, now I'm in. Now I'm about to give you boom, boom, whatever it is. Shoot, Jerry said, show me, man. Sean Wallop, now Jerry been quiet. Jerry has done it. That's what he's saying, Sean. No, he's saying, I've done it. I have literally went out there and got you everybody, everything that you wanted. I swung for Max Crosby, didn't get him. I swung for the linebackers, didn't get him. But I still went out there and I got you some things. And you told me the things that I got you are good. Now I need to see it. Show me after what I've done. You don't get to keep getting. I was talking to my sons about investing the other day. You don't get to keep getting. When you start talking about investing, man, you got to show me some return before I say, hey, man, you know what? Here, take $20,000 of my savings. No, you got to show me something. Shoot, Jerry in. What up, football fanatic? Bass said somebody better tie Stephen Jones in the closet. When Jerry popped off, he said, you know, he may have an aneurysm. Jerry spit. Hey, you watch what I tell you. When Quentin Williams gets extended, get ready. Angel Eye said, I can't wait to see Caleb get down on the field. I'm ready too. Queen said, Vita Vea asked for transfer yesterday. Jerry talked to a team yesterday. I'm just saying. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why I say too, when you start talking about a player, Queen, we don't need to just hone in on Max Crosby. It could be another player. It could be another player. Because if you can get this left and right tackle together, your offense is literally unstoppable. It's unstoppable. You might not need a Max Crosby. You might just go out there and say, okay, we got our offensive line situation to the point that we're almost unstoppable. So now maybe we don't go get Max Crosby, but maybe we go get another one of these players that's out there on the open market. I'm just saying. But I love what they're doing.
Clarence.
there's so much talk. We're talking about a quiet off season, and I guess
You could have dropped the mic right there. It could have been over.
what we mean is there's no drama, right? Not that you haven't done any work. Did you learn anything from last year dealing with Micah and how you dealt with Pickens to eliminate drama this offseason?
Well, they're two different, really, two completely different situations.
And Sean, you don't want to take my word for it. You and I, we gonna see. We gonna see. Jerry said, I want to see it. And this is really, if you think about it, Sean, this has been their conversation. They want to see it. Because if you show us, if you show me that we're where we need to be, I'm going to go get you another player. Yeah, I'm going to go get you another player. What up, Bassmaster? I'm going to get you another player. So you and I both, we going to see. Hey, we going to both see. Randall said the first for Max, no way. Hey, maybe we can get him in a desperate situation. Quinn said, what position does Vita Vea play? He plays, I'm not sure what he plays. Andre Johnson said defensive tackle. Okay, he plays nose tackle. Let's see.
And different people. I want to give Schotty really accolade for how he worked through this with George. And in terms of not him, but how he helped us communicate and work through it.
What up, Eric Black?
This can be a very win-win thing that we've done here, us, George, and George being on the team. Make no mistake about it, George could be a cowboy for the rest of his career, and that'd be a long time.
Oh, boy, I was so glad when Jerry said this. Because I'm telling you, man, the way Jerry threw that first one out there, Jerry just made it sound like basically that George Pickens was gone in the wind. But I don't think that's the plan. I don't think that's the plan with George Pickens. I think the plan with George Pickens is the Cowboys are going to extend George Pickens. But I'm going to tell you the game the Cowboys are playing. And it's a very risky game, but they're playing this game. They're going to do one or two things next year. They're going to put him on a franchise tag, which will be $32 million. That'll be $60 million guaranteed over 2 seasons. George Pickens hits the proverbial bank if he does that, because George Pickens, if they won't franchise tag him a third time, they'll either extend him or they'll trade him. But I'm not going to be surprised. Don't be surprised if that's actually been the plan. You just go ahead and get George Pickens $60 million up front for 2 years. Because maybe you see your window as 2 years, this year and next year. It all depends on how this year plays out. But Jerry just made it very clear that they may very well extend George Pickens next season. You just never know how it's going to go. But he's giving Schotty credit for kind of keeping the communication open with George and kind of keeping George level-headed. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys extend George Pickens next year. If I were the Cowboys, I would extend George Pickens next year. I absolutely would. Lamb, I think, will be on the last year of that deal. Will Lamb be on the last year or second to the next to the last year? But Lamb's going to be about 30 by the time the Cowboys get off that contract. They'll have some decisions to make. But if I'm the Cowboys, the only thing I'm focused on is this year and next. And if I'm the Cowboys, George has got to be here for the next 2 years. Come hell or high water, they got to do it. So I believe it's either going to be another franchise or they're going to extend him. But I don't think they're going to trade him. I don't think they're going to trade him. And I definitely don't think they're going to let him walk off into the sunset. It does the Cowboys no good to do that. And I think they're going to keep him.
Win-win thing that we've done here, us, George, and George being on the team. Make no mistake about it, George could be a cowboy for the rest of his career, and that'd be a long time. Make no mistake about it.
Yeah.
This just fit for us, and thank goodness it fit for him. and we got it done. And let's look at that. It's not uncommon with these teams around the NFL to have this tension going on regarding players and contracts and things. We, of course, are focused when it's us, but this is not uncommon.
I said the same thing. If this was another team, we probably wouldn't think about it the same way.
To have happen. It gave us an opportunity, the process gave us an opportunity to make some decisions last year. A lot of people disagree with some of the decisions that we made, but it gave us an opportunity to make some decisions. I think going forward here, we're going to see, hopefully, the positiveness of some of those decisions reflected in this year's football team.
Nick.
I want to talk about the cornerback room. Obviously going to be one of the more heated competitions you guys see out here in Oxnard. What's your confidence level and how excited are you to see that competition?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think, when you look at, from top to bottom, Daron obviously did a great job coming back. He feels great. Excited to get him back out there. Siobhan Revel was finally, feeling great, and I thought he had a really good offseason. I'm really very, very pleased with the ability of, DA and Ryan Smith and Christian Parker to, really dive into the finer details of how you play certain coverages and the techniques. Like they spend, ad nauseum amounts of time talking about fundamentals over scheme. We all have the same scheme. It's the way you teach the fundamentals that make the difference. I thought Kobe Durant was an awesome pickup for us. Darron Kendrick. It's going to be a fun battle to watch, and they're going to be able to go up against some of the most elite receivers in the league, which I think is important as well.
Yes.
And but what I expect to see is the confidence of that group grow. And that starts by getting in these practices and getting into the one-on-ones and some of the 7-on-7s and team drills that we do and watching those guys compete. And the thing that will be definitely different this year with CP is the trash talk, because he's pretty good at it.
Before we close out, I want.
Yeah. Hey, man. It don't get no better than that. That was just a lot of great insight, man. Absolutely a lot of great insight. A lot of great insight, man. A lot of great insight. Jerry has expectations for this team, and I told y'all this before. This isn't nothing new. Only difference is you now heard Jerry Jones say it. But I told y'all before, when you look at what they've done for this team, Jerry has expectations. I just don't remember Jerry moving like this since Jimmy Johnson. I mean, Jerry has gotten players from time to time, but he has really got some players on this squad. He had a great draft, and they got expectations. They're expecting to win. Gaming with Eric, I think Dak's going to take a pay cut. I think Dak's going to get extended next year. I think he's going to. I think he'll get money. It's not that he's not going to get money, but I think Dak's going to take I think he's going to give the Cowboys a discount. I don't think Dak's going to be worried about an extra $10 million. I just think when you get to a point when you're in that mid-30 range, and especially, far be it for me to tell somebody how to spend their money. But if I'm Dak Prescott, and I'm not going to be mad whichever way he goes. I don't get to control somebody's money. But if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm going to get that extension next year, and I'm going to take a pay cut. Yep. I don't have to play for $60 million. I'll figure out something else. But I got to keep George Pickens. I got to keep George Pickens, man. I really do. I think he really is going to help the Cowboys get what they're going for over here over the next few years. Blaze said Vita Vea would be a great anchor to a 3-4 defense bridge and help mentor Jay Toya. It's funny, man. Brian Schottenheimer said there's a lot of people that want to be a part of what the Cowboys are doing. I'm just wondering who these people he talking about is. Who are these people he talking about? I want to know who them people are. I want to know who them people are. There is no doubt in my mind. I want to know who those people are. But again, there's a lot left to be revealed about this team over the next few weeks. So I'm very excited about it. All right, let's go to this Nick Eatman piece. And I'm not going to play the whole piece. I want to go to a very specific place in the interview because Schottenheimer really kind of cleared this up. Because Eatman and the guy on 105.3 The Fan, their opinion is that they don't think that Ty Smith can go over and play left tackle this late in the season. But I think they're underestimating how great Ty Smith really is. And so Nick Eatman and the guy on 105.3 The Fan, they start kind of speaking against this. Let's check this out.
One way or another. I haven't told anything.
Does that mean he's playing guard, Nick?
I was surprised by that.
I'll play the interview in a moment, but this is Nick Eatman talking about that Ty Smith can't convert over and play left tackle this year if the Cowboys need him to, because they're both kind of saying it's too late in the game.
That answer, I kind of think that Tyler Smith is a pretty smart guy, and I think he's tired of answering stuff. So you know what? I think he just said, I don't know. We'll see.
Oh, no.
I still think
we've worn him out. We've broken him.
No, I just think I kind of think he's still having fun, maybe a little bit. Tyler Guyton has to get beat a lot here at camp and not play well, and for him not to be the guy, like, he's going to have to start off. That's what they want. That's what they need. That's what they need for that first round.
I'm glad you said that, because Bobby's been trying to sell us and arguing with me that it's pretty open competition.
It could be open, but the thing about it is this is not corner. This is not receiver. There's a favorite because continuity on that offensive line is the most important thing. So there is going to be one guy that they are pushing to get. He's just going to have to be. Nate Thomas has to be head and shoulders above, or Shelton or whoever it is. But I just think. I think it's that break glass contingency plan to put Tyler Smith out there. But I did hear this in the offseason. I might have said this. What? I didn't say this on here, but obviously. But
and you didn't say it.
Yeah, but it's true. It didn't happen. But I was told that one of the things that the Cowboys are really looking at here is they have to decide if Tyler Guyton at left tackle is better than TJ Bass at left guard. And if it's not the case, if TJ Bass is just absolutely better and in that top 5 linemen, then it's only smart for them to move Tyler Smith. So I think we're looking at all these things. TJ Bass is kind of the wild card here. If he is too good of a player, to not be a starter, then I think that's where you might see Tyler Smith at left tackle.
But
see, people think this is not in the realm of possibility, but it is in the realm of possibility. And I'm going to show you something here in just a moment, just based on history. Listen to what this guy says next.
Nick, my problem is you listen to some other linemen and they're like, the training and preparation is vastly different from me playing tackle from guard. So aren't we way too late on the calendar right now? If Tyler Smith, unless Tyler Smith is looking noticeably different or preparing noticeably different, I assume he's been preparing to play guard unless he really is messing with us and they said, no, you're going to play tackle. Like, you should have told him earlier, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't necessarily believe that they haven't told him that, because that's a great point, Sean, because you can't get into this and say, hey, just let me know where you want to be. It's not like a party where like, where do you want me to sit? I'll go wherever. No, I mean, because you're right. I think if you prepare to be a guard all offseason, even a great one like Tyler Smith, and then you get moved out to tackle, then I think you're probably having a chance to be a good tackle this year. But I don't think he's going to be elite. I just don't think he is going to be an elite tackle. I don't know if Larry Allen was an elite tackle when he did it. Zach Martin knew he wasn't going to be elite. Nate Newton wasn't elite tackle. They played it. They could do it. They were better at guard. They know they're better at guard, and I think that's where they probably should be, unless they just have to have him out there.
What are you most interested in hearing or asking at the presser?
Okay, now we're going to keep this right here because we already know what his major question was at the presser, because we just heard him at the presser. And at the presser, what he was asking was about Ty Smith. Now, I'm going to tell you something about these guys that they don't understand. they're talking from a perspective of common sense. But when you start talking about an athlete like a Ty Smith, you're not really talking much common sense as much as you're talking about a guy who is elite, not just as a left guard. He's just an elite offensive lineman. And the reason why I say this, and people seem to have forgotten this, well, does anybody remember what happened to Daron Smith in 2022? Anybody remember this? Daron Smith suffered a severe hamstring injury in Ty Smith's rookie season. Ty Smith was supposed to be the left guard. Guess what Ty Smith did? Ty Smith in training camp. Matter of fact, I believe Daron Smith had the same injury that Dak Prescott had. Ty Smith switched over in training camp, played left tackle, played 16 games at left tackle for the Cowboys. And I don't know what Nick Eatman is talking about. No disrespect to him. Tyler Smith not only played left tackle, he was elite at left tackle. Let me see here. Tyler Smith. He played extremely well in 2022 as a left tackle. He played extremely well. Tyler Smith would be elite at the left tackle position. There's no doubt in my mind. And I don't think this left tackle situation is an open competition. You know, I know Schotty said it's an open competition. I don't think it's an open competition as much as it is if Tyler Guyton doesn't live up to being the left tackle the Cowboys want him to be. No, they're doing something else. Bottom line, they really have no choice. Schottenheimer and Jerry Jones have both expressed it. They're in win now mode. They don't have another year for Tyler Guyton to be out there and be experimenting, saying we're going to let him get better as the season goes. Nah, bro, he better be good by the time they come out of Oxnard, California. And the big thing for him, you know, when I think about Tyler Guyton, I'm pulling for Tyler Guyton, is Tyler Guyton just got to stay healthy, man. Just got to stay healthy. Not only stay healthy, stay out there on the field. If he stays healthy, he stays on the field. If he stays on the field, he gets better. That's what we're needing from Tyler Guyton. That's what they're needing. They just need Tyler Guyton to go out there and do what the heck they want that he's supposed to be doing. Go out there and be dominant. That's all they're asking him to do. Go out there and be a dominant left tackle. And so we're going to see what happens. We're going to see what happens with this whole Tyler Smith thing. We're going to see what happens. But Tyler Smith, man, Tyler Smith can play elite left tackle. He's already done it before. And so there's a guy out here by the name of Doyle. I don't know what this was. I found it came across my timeline the other day or this morning because I was looking for the Ty Smith. I was looking for the Ty Smith interview. So I'm going to tie Ty Smith and Malik Hooker. Let's tie these both together in the same segment. This is KJ Doyle.
We are live in
KJ Doyle talking about Ty Smith and Javonte Williams. Let's check this out.
Yes!
Oxnard, California for another year of Dallas Cowboys training camp coverage. The Cowboys getting ready to take the field out here in California for training camp, the site where they've held training camp in recent years, moving away from Texas to get away from the heat a little bit and enjoy some of the cooler weather out here in California as they prepare for the 2026 season. The Cowboys...
I'm telling you, man, from everything I've heard, it is not cool out there in Oxnard, California. I heard it is hot out there, man.
Arriving today after flying in, taking the team buses into the hotel here to get settled ahead of training camp season. Getting set to start on September 13th in New York. That's 48 days away, about a month and a half for Dallas to prepare for that opening game against the Giants. Dak Prescott and company coming off of the buses, getting settled in as they prepare for practice on Wednesday. We'll have more on that in a minute. Head coach Brian Schottenheimer arrived before the team. He addressed the media just briefly before the team arrived and said he came just to get acclimated a little earlier to the time change. And the team comes into training camp with a lot of optimism. A reloaded defense and a new defensive coordinator has the players ready to prove they're a playoff caliber team this season.
I mean, obviously, I think we made a lot of acquisitions in the offseason, particularly on defense, and I think it's going to pay dividends. I think we got a lot of young guys just going through OTAs that I've seen that have a lot of juice. I think we've made some great additions in terms of our edge groups, in terms of our interior D-line, and a lot of other positions too, and I think that's going to show up.
We got a talented guys, a lot of young guys that's coming in that's very special after seeing them in OTAs and smart and willing to learn. So we're just looking forward to getting out there on the field and kind of just getting it rolling now at this point.
We'll hear more from Tyler Smith and Malik Hooker later on Channel 5 News at 10. Malik Hooker asked about rookie Caleb Downs, adding him to the defense. We'll hear from him on that. As for the schedule for the rest of training camp for the Cowboys, tomorrow is the introductory press conference of training camp. Jerry Jones expected to speak to the media. Then on Wednesday, it's the first practice. We'll have coverage for you out here from California during Channel 5 Sports all week long, leading into the weekend on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the issue is I don't really think it's a matter of moving. I don't think it's a matter of moving Ty Smith. I really don't. Answering that question, Ron Mack. I don't think it's a matter of moving Ty Smith. It's a matter of, will Tyler Guyton make you have to move Ty Smith? This all depends on Tyler Guyton. This all depends on Tyler Guyton. Blaze, the Cowboys will get cap space. They're gonna rework Quentin Williams' deal. They will rework Quentin Williams' deal. They'll have money to get whoever they want. They already know this. Yeah, they absolutely already know this. Yeah, they already know what they're doing. So they're gonna go out there and they're going to redo Quentin Williams. Stephen Jones has already mentioned as much. They're going to redo Quentin Williams. All right, let's see if we can listen to a little bit of more Ty Smith. I got clips.
Schotty makes those decisions. Wherever I do line up, I'm going to be at the best.
This is him talking about playing guard again.
Camp or tackle?
We'll see what happens. Ultimately, Schotty makes those decisions. Wherever I do line up, I'm going to be at the best of my ability.
So you haven't been told one way or another?
I haven't told anything.
Camp or tackle?
Yeah, so when you think about this actually isn't about Ty Smith. This isn't about Ty Smith. I think what the Cowboys are doing is smart. They're keeping their options open in case this don't work out with in case something don't work out with Tyler Guyton. I mean, it's smart to really do. It really is. You gotta kind of figure, with things that have happened with Tyler Guyton over the last couple of seasons and what's been happening in training camp, you got to be ready in case he's not ready. Bottom line, you just got to be ready. So that's kind of what they're alluding to. All right, let's listen to a little bit more of, this is Nick Harris. He's got this clip from Malik Hooker. Let's check this out.
Is there a chip on the defensive shoulder? And if so, is it something good to embrace either?
Absolutely. We always had, on paper, talented defense, but it's not, just about being talented. It's about putting it all together and being disciplined with it, which we felt like we haven't been this past couple of years, whether that be throughout the playoffs, simple penalties and, giving up big plays just off of miscommunication. We're looking forward to, just kind of putting it all together and building off of that. Because like I said, we got a talented guys, a lot of young guys that's coming in that's very special after seeing them at OTAs and smart and willing to learn. So we're just looking forward to getting out there on the field and kind of just getting it rolling now at this point.
Is there a chip on the defense?
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man, putting it all together. Putting it all together. And so Hooker, he good. He's good. So it looks like the Cowboys got a plan. All right, let's skip down to, I'm thinking that this Javonte Williams interview, we'll listen to both of these as a matter of fact. I think they're old. I think both of these are old, but we're going to listen to them. Let's check it out. I don't know if y'all let me know. I think we've heard this before, though. Unless I heard it in a dream or something.
Yes! Here we go!
This is Josina Anderson. She's talking to Javonte Williams. I think this is something old, but y'all let me know. It's dated today, but I think it's something old. She's talking to Javonte Williams.
Your girl Josina Anderson hosted the Exhibit show on the Exhibit News.
Okay, I think that did say 2025. If it is, we're going to go to Daron Bland. Let me see.
It's your girl
I don't know what this means. 2025, 1201. Okay, so I think we've heard this before. I want to go to Daron Bland because that's the one I'm more interested in. Because we saw Daron Bland yesterday, and there are high hopes on Daron Bland. Everybody's hoping Daron Bland is going to be good to go. And I think the Cowboys have a lot riding on Daron Bland. They've already paid Daron Bland. And even though they can get from up under the Daron Bland situation, they still need him to perform this year. All right, let's see here.
I'm Josina Anderson with the Exhibit News Network, and we're going to talk about the Dallas Cowboys with camp slated to start around the league this week. Now, the Dallas Cowboys defense allowed the most passing yards per game in the league last season with an average of 251. They were also just second in interceptions with a total of 6, while their former coach Al Harris, who actually had Daron Bland flourishing underneath him and led the league in interceptions in 2023, went on to help the Bears and that unit have a league-leading 23 last season. So now with Harris gone and Trayvon Diggs gone, who also flourished under Harris as well, I did catch up with CB1, Daron Bland, just to ask him about the questions that are opposite him in the Cowboys secondary leading into Cowboys camp this week. Take care of rehabbing the foot. How do you feel right now?
I'm feeling good, way better than last year. Rehabbing it, especially. I haven't had no hiccups or anything, so feeling good.
Could you articulate exactly what part of the foot? Was it a Liz frame? What was it?
No, it was outside of the foot by the pinky toe.
Okay, would you say that so where are you in terms of the healing? Is the bone fully healed now when you're just doing, acclimations?
Yeah, it's pretty much healed. Just taking it slow right now, not rushing it.
What do you feel like the transition is going to be? Obviously you got some people that are missing in the secondary that you were playing with before, beyond the coach that went to Chicago, with Trayvon Diggs or what have you. You guys have some pieces that you're going to kind of have to bring under your wing a little bit on that side. So talk about those guys.
I think it'd be good, especially because how the way CP has us getting all on the same communication, same page. And just some of the guys, like this room right now, we're all on one, trying to have the same mindset.
Who do you feel is going to be opposite you to start the season? I mean, obviously you got to go through the competition, but we kind of seen some things out there today too.
I mean, it's be tough to tell. I'll be ready for the guys who can, see them compete and everything. So it'll be fun.
Because you got Durant.
Yeah, you got Durant. You got Kalen Carson. You got Siobhan Revel. Got a lot of guys in the room. So.
Do you feel like you're seeing, though, some of the experience of Durant coming over from the Rams and having played so many games in the last 2 seasons with them, as far as blending with him and that playing out on the field?
Oh, yeah, definitely. As soon as we came in, we was kind of clicked, so it was kind of cool having a guy in there coming in and just be on the same page as you. So.
clicked, Howard? Because you kind of smirked when you said that click. What, was he joking with y'all? Took y'all out for a $5,000 steak dinner for the team? How did y'all click? Come on, tell the show.
Nah, he's just another guy that's a ball hawk, that wants to get the ball. And so we clicked on that same page just like that, just immediately. So just having a guy like that in the room as you, it'd be good.
Now, what do you say to those people who think you might still have a little bit of a hole in the, secondary relative?
Now, I noticed in the chat, we're talking about Max Crosby. Now, don't forget what I said. Don't set your mind on Max Crosby. Don't set your mind on Max Crosby. You never know who the Cowboys may get. Might not be Max Crosby. Could be somebody, as I said earlier, it may be somebody we never even thought about. Maybe somebody else. Sounds like Max Crosby may be still in play, but it may be somebody else. You never know, and we'll see how it all turns out. But don't set your mind on Max Crosby. There are other players out there the Cowboys could consider.
To at least it may be a new component opposite you on the other side at corner. Obviously in the nickel, Caleb Downs probably will be there, but he's still a rookie. So the NFC East is a little bit tougher. Is it a hole in this? What do you say to those people who think is a little bit of a hole in the secondary?
I'll say just wait till you see. But yeah, that's how I feel about these guys in the room. I feel like we're coming in to compete. We have a tough task on our hands, and we're ready for it.
Tell me something about Christian Parker. I don't know. He's a new guy, but he's a young guy.
Yes, sir.
What has been interacting with him like as far as one-on-one and things like that?
Great. He's definitely a football head. Definitely teaches about the game and wants you to see where your head's at with it, and just wants you to play and make you make your worth for it. So. It's been good.
Anything that he's said to you so far that's kind of stood out, in terms of his teachings, something he told you to match, something he made you laugh at, something that was about man-on-man conversation after practice?
No, not much. He kind of straight football right now.
So I do really quickly want to talk about the NFC East. There's just a lot of, change going on. OBJ's now at the Giants, and Malik Neighbors going to be back, and obviously AJ Brown's.
I don't think we're going to see Malik Neighbors to the second game. I'm definitely not worried about Odell Beckham Jr.
No longer with the Eagles. What do you just think about the evolution of the NFC East?
It's definitely different for me. Being on the side for 5 years now, it's definitely a whole different scenery and going against different guys. But I feel like it's gonna be a fun time. Having new guys coming in the NFC East. Feel like it's a little bit more competitive, a little bit. So it'll be good.
Maybe you'll play the Patriots and see what you think, about that too. But I'll be in your ear. We'll talk. I do appreciate you coming on the show. For Daron Bland, I'm Josine Anderson.
Yeah, that's Daron Bland. Okay, maybe that one with Javonte Williams isn't old. I don't know what that meant. Let's look at that real quick. She also talked to Javonte Williams. It looked like she had on the same outfit that day. Let me see. Okay, it is new. Just didn't look like it was new, but she talked to him on the same day, because that one with Daron Bland, that is definitely new right there. And this is her also talking to Javonte Williams. Check this out.
The way both sides of the ball look on paper and on the field. So, as long as we can put everything together, I feel like we'll be all right.
Now, the interesting thing is, how do you feel about the depth behind you? Because I think in some of the Cowboys teams in the past, used to seeing a little bit more name, power, RB1, RB2. So how do you feel about the combination, the committee of the running back, group with the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, no, I feel good. I'm out there with them every day, practicing, working hard, and I see how much work they put in. So I trust everybody in the room. We all pushing each other and trying to get better.
What's different about Dak this year? Obviously he's made some headlines on and off the field. So how do you think all of that has played into the version of himself that he's showing up with right now?
Yeah, Yeah, a lot of stuff happened out the field, but I mean, he come in every day and act like everything is all normal. So, I mean, I don't really know the truth or nothing about that, but the way
we don't want to know, but we know it's out there. I'm just saying, just like everything that he collectively is balancing as a player.
Yeah, I feel like he's doing a great job. He still comes in and work, be the pro and the leader of this team that he's supposed to be no matter what. So I got a lot of respect for him.
What's up,
Now,
Gwen
I was talking
Bowden?
to Daron Bland just about the evolution of the NFC East, and a lot has changed, with these teams. Malik Neighbors coming back to, the Giants got OBJ. A.J. Brown has gone now to the Patriots and all this other stuff. So when you think about where this team is with the skills on the team, how do you think, what are you thinking about the division and the competition and how you guys fare with that so far?
Yeah, I feel like we at the top in every category with every team.
Oh, the top.
Yeah, the top for sure. But we just got to be able to put everything together. We got all the right pieces. It's all about is everybody going to come to play every Sunday, and can we stay healthy? So as long as we do that, I feel like we'll be all right.
So what is different about you coming into this offseason, would you say, or just, are you heavier? You put on more weight? Doing anything different with your diet? You went to see the Michael Jackson movie? What?
Nah, I really just the same thing I was doing last year.
This lady crazy, man.
All that. I'm trying to keep everything the same way I did last year, trying to replicate that or do even better.
You ain't done 10 more push-ups or something?
Nah, just a little bit. But there you go right there. But just grinding, working, and trying to stay on top.
So did you see the Michael Jackson movie yet?
Nah, I didn't.
I know, because I was talking to Clarence and Calvin. They said I need to go see this. They don't really care or not. And they seen it at IMAX. I need to go see it. You going to watch it? It's on Google Play right now. You going to watch it?
You said it's already out of the movie?
Yeah, it's on stream
I think
now.
it's on Google Play, but I don't know if you have to pay for it on Google Play. That's why I haven't done it yet.
Yeah, I'll go watch it.
I was waiting for you to slip me the free code. I'm waiting for the free 99 version. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I don't got it.
All right. So what you going to do after mandatory camp? Going to St. Lucia, Turks and Caicos, Ibiza? What you doing?
Yeah, I'll probably stay in Texas. I just got a new house, so I want to
you big money. Okay.
I'm almost done packing, so probably the first 2 weeks, I'll probably just chill in the crib.
You want to spend your vacation unpacking?
Yeah, nah, that's what I'm doing now. I'm almost done. I'm saying, when I'm done, I'm going to probably stay for 2 weeks, then go somewhere, but I haven't really made my mind up.
You haven't made up your mind? All right, you can just make up your mind where you want to go when you big money. You just decide on the spot. I know it.
Go.
Just wake up and go.
Nah.
All right, that's cool. Listen, I always appreciate you being on the show, Tar Heel, all that stuff. You always take care of me. So, best of luck for the rest of the season. Take care of yourself.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you, too.
How much you bet Josina Anderson didn't like that last comment? I bet you Josina Anderson didn't like that ma'am comment. How much you bet? I bet she didn't like that ma'am comment. Worley, you said let me find out, baby girl. What you talking about, man? What you talking about, Worley? You trying to get Josina number? I bet she didn't like that ma'am comment. How much you bet? I bet she talked to him about that off camera. Ma'am? Boy, I bet she didn't like that, boy. But she said, ma'am. She didn't like that comment. I guarantee you. She didn't like that. All right, let's see. We got a couple more segments here. We're about to get out of here. I want to give y'all a Romo update. I want to give y'all the Tony Romo update. Man, I told y'all about Tony Romo yesterday, man. Shoot, man. Tony on some other stuff right now. Telling y'all right now, man. Tony Romo is on some other stuff. Tony Romo sounds like, from what I'm hearing, Tony Romo kind of had a little run-in with CBS, or at least that's the way this article makes it sound. CBS makes a decision on Tony Romo's future.
Yes! Here we go!
Back to Tony Romo in the news. Tony Romo was obviously feeling some pressure, at least that's what this article makes you feel like. Tony Romo was kind of concerned, I believe, that maybe he was going to lose his job. Says CBS makes final call on Tony Romo's future. Says Tony Romo spent last week in familiar surroundings. Back in his home at Wisconsin, the former Cowboys quarterback was in the field for the 125th Wisconsin Amateur Championship, another stop in the golf schedule he has continued to maintain long after retiring from the NFL. On Thursday, a few hours after competing in West Bond, he was pulled over while driving south on Interstate 43 in Milwaukee County. Says the days that followed were notable quiet. Romo made no public statement about the arrest. Okay, he was arrested here. I must have skipped it. Well, it didn't say it, but he was arrested, basically. It says his next scheduled appearance to Texas State Open disappeared from his calendar instead. Tournament insiders later confirmed that Romo had withdrawn from the event, ending a run of appearances that had stretched across 9 previous editions. While Romo remained silent publicly and CBS declined to comment on the arrest, a new report from the Daily Mail has offered the clearest indication yet of how the network intends to handle its lead NFL analyst heading into the NFL season next year. It says the bosses at CBS will not fire Tony Romo from his $18 million a year NFL analyst role following his arrest last week, but the Daily Mail understands that ex-Dallas Cowboys star may take a brief step back. Says a source has since told the Daily Mail that Romo knows he made a terrible decision. He absolutely did. And has disappointed his colleagues and family. But CBS will not be firing Tony Romo from its biggest NFL games before the new season, despite already facing, look at this. I told y'all this yesterday. Look what it says. It says, despite already facing calls to axe him over his bizarre performances in the booth last year. Did I not tell y'all this? People have been wanting this man fired. Man, they said that Tony Romo has been tripping in the booth. I'll be honest with you. I absolutely hate when he does Dallas Cowboy games. I don't know about y'all. I hate when he does Dallas Cowboy games. I'm telling you, I hate it. But nevertheless, Tony Romo gets to keep his job. You should be thanking God tonight. This man makes $17 to $18 million a year on a 10-year deal. $180 million deal signed in 2020. I wonder if there was something in the contract where they couldn't depart with it. Romo hasn't been good, man, as of late. Poobie D, you said Romo good. He was good them first couple of years. I'm telling you, man. Romo he hadn't been that good last couple of years, Poobie D. I've listened to some of the games. This man has been bad. Absolutely bad, some of these games. You know what? And again, Poobie D, I don't know if you heard him lately. I've listened to him the last couple of years. I didn't think he was good. But whatever the case is, he's still going to be at CBS. $18 million a year. Wow. Should be thanking God tonight. He could have hurt himself. He could have hurt somebody else. Could have ended his career. All kinds of things. So praise be to God that he didn't go out there and really hurt somebody. And he definitely should be thanking God that he still has his job. All right. Let me hit you with a couple of quick hits. And these affect the Dallas Cowboys indirectly. But Pat McAfee reported today, Micah Parsons, there is a date set for Micah Parsons to be back with the Cowboys. All right, let me show. Let's see. I got a couple of. Let's see. Got a couple of things that just came down. We'll put these on here too. We'll hit this thing with. Let's see. I'll save this for tomorrow. This is James Slater on Pat McAfee, but all right, hold on a second. There's some new stuff that popped down from James Slater. And I know she's talking about the press conference from today because I can tell by the way she's dressed. All right, let me see if I can pull up Pat McAfee real quick. Pat McAfee was talking about the Micah Parsons thing. Yeah, this is it right here. Let's check this out.
What's the story?
The return date of Micah Parsons. Anybody just for fun. Anybody want to take a wild guess at what the expected date is? For which game do y'all think Micah Parsons is returning? Anybody want to take a wild guess? What game do y'all think Micah Parsons is returning? Man, this had me laughing so hard I didn't know what to do. What game do you think Micah Parsons is returning? I was laughing when I saw this, man. Check this out.
What's the story over there? Policies. He's moving all in. We got a different vibe on the squad because we know that we're trying to win a Super Bowl at all costs. Or what is the thoughts over there with Green Bay? Micah, all the way back. How do we feel about what the Packers are going into this 2026 season, Mr. Schneidman?
Yeah, I think there are three big storylines, and let me know if the wind is a little too much right here.
Now you're doing great.
Micah's recovery. He's starting camp on the PUP list. He's probably going to miss the first month and a half of the season. The Packers have a strict 9-month no football rule after ACL tears. And Micah's wasn't even a clean ACL tear. He had a meniscus injury too, so he had to get that repaired. So the earliest we'll see him on the field, even on the practice field, is September 30th. That would be 9 months and 1 day after his surgery. That would be the start of the week of practice before their Week 4 game against the Buccaneers. If we think he needs a couple weeks to get ramped up, he's probably going to return Week 6 here at Lambeau, Sunday Night Football against who? The Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We like that. The script makers are going to be pumped whenever they see that that's possible. The strict no field.
No way he was coming back against the Cowboys. Who would have thunk it? Who would have thunk it? I will not be surprised if Micah Parsons literally sits out, and that is the game he comes back.
Field policy by Green Bay for 9 months. I'm just learning that right now.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, thank you for introducing us to that. Even if they spend the most amount of money they've ever spent on a player, they're sticking to their policy, which I think is kind of policies.
Yeah, it's
policy, which
yeah.
I could certainly respect.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I know Micah Parsons wants to play the Dallas Cowboys bad. But if I was Micah Parsons, I wouldn't be trying to rush back. Especially to play the Cowboys. I just wouldn't be trying to rush back.
What?
Bro, you got your money. Prolong your career, man. I would not be trying to rush back. I just wouldn't. I absolutely would not be trying to rush back. They were also talking about today Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter got a humongous extension. Jalen Carter, 4 years, $152 million. Now, the reason why I'm showing this is because we got Quinnen Williams coming up. Yeah, we got Quinnen Williams coming up. So Quinnen Williams is going to break the bank on this joint, man. Going to break the bank on this joint. So we're going to see what this means for Quinnen Williams. But the thing that I'm so happy about, as we were listening earlier, is that they're already on top of the Quinnen Williams contract. So I don't think we're going to have to worry about any kind of drama. I really don't. So I think it's going to be all good with that. All right. I want to throw one last segment in here. This is James Slater after the Cowboys. This is James Slater after the Dallas Cowboys press conference. So I'm very interested in what James Slater has to say on this. Yeah. Brady said, Jalen, I spit on Dak, Carter got paid. Yeah, he got paid. Quinnen Williams gonna get paid too. All right, this is James Slater talking about the Cowboys press conference. Check it out.
Well, Patrick. You know, Jerry Jones acknowledged the lack of off-season drama, and he even said he wasn't planning on stirring things up in the next few days. But leave it to Jerry. A few moments later, he told us that he wasn't opposed to the idea of making a big, significant move if it meant that it could improve the team. In fact, Patrick, he followed it up by telling us that he had been on the phone with a team and an owner as early as Monday. Listen in.
I talked about a situation yesterday with another team and another owner. Yesterday. Very interesting. I'd give up future to add substantive to where we are today as to a player, to give you an idea about would I invest something substantive to get the right kind of deal to improve us opening day? I would. I feel that good about this team this year.
All right. That one word that he used there caught my attention, the word substantive. Now, when I think of that word, that is a word that he has used in past aggressive pursuits. One aggressive pursuit that comes to mind was Max Crosby. As you will remember, back then in the offseason, he made an offer to the Raiders, according to multiple sources. It included at least a first-round pick and a player. Might that be in play here? He was a player they thought highly of. I circled back on this with Jerry. Why did you walk away from Max Crosby when it fell apart with the Ravens and not revisit that then?
We didn't.
I thought this was probably one of the most pivotal moments of the press conference, because people had been like criticizing the Cowboys for not getting Max Crosby. Well, now we're finding out that it wasn't the fact they didn't get Max Crosby. They didn't walk away from the deal, because I thought this was kind of strange when this first happened, because I was like, if the Cowboys would have got Max Crosby, even if they would have found out something about his knee, I don't think the Cowboys would have turned back on that deal. I think they still would have kept him. But I think the Ravens used the Cowboys' doctor to have an excuse to spend less and not give up as much as far as draft picks go and go get Trey Hendrickson. So it lets you know that it wasn't the Cowboys why they didn't get Max Crosby. But I'll be honest with you. At this point in time, I'm glad the Cowboys didn't get Max Crosby. Because if the Cowboys got Max Crosby, I don't think they get Caleb Downs. I don't think they get Caleb Downs, and I don't think they're able. I think the draft goes a little bit different if they get Max Crosby. I'm glad they didn't get Max Crosby at this time. Now, if they circle the block and it's an advantageous deal for the Cowboys, and especially if things are not working out with the Raiders, you might be able to get Max Crosby and not even have to give up a first-round pick. Who knows? You might be able to come out way better on this deal if you just hold out and wait and see what Max Crosby is.
No, no, because there's nothing more to elaborate about, but we did not walk away.
Would a player of that caliber be someone that you would be willing to engage with another team in 2 weeks, so that we're not all speculating?
Again, let's don't hypothetical here and use specifically a player in a hypothetical situation. That is tampering. That really is.
Yeah, I think Jerry kind of missed what she said here too. I don't think she wanted him to elaborate on. I don't think she wanted him to elaborate on Max Crosby. I think she was trying to say, if there was a Max Crosby type player out there, would you be willing to, engage?
And so we don't want to talk like that and act like that. But that is a good example of what you can stand ready if, in fact, you think the rest of your team is coming along well.
Another pivotal answer in this thing by Jerry Jones. This was the point. We'll make a move, but we got to know that the team is ready for that to be the move. It's got to be ready. But again, I wouldn't just put our minds on Max Crosby. The The Cowboys may feel like they don't need a Max Crosby. They don't need Max Crosby in particular. Maybe it'll be somebody else they get. Might not be as good. And don't forget, we got Charles Snowden. I know people are poo-pooing on Charles Snowden. Don't forget. Cowboys got some play. They got players. But I know everybody wants that name. But again, I wouldn't be locked in on Max Crosby. You just never know who they could get.
Then those things stay alive.
Now, to be clear, I wasn't trying to have an I gotcha moment, and Jerry and Steven made it very, very clear that Max Crosby is a Raider. He wants to be a Raider, and talking about a player, even if it's in a hypothetical situation, is in fact tampering, and they are not going to go there at all. With that being said, Max Crosby has the type of resume that would be quite intriguing. It would be the caliber of player that they would be interested in. Now, I also want to point out that a lot of things have to happen, right? He says that the reason why he's even entertaining these thoughts is because he likes what he saw from the offense last year. And if the defense continues to trend and he likes what he's getting from the offensive line, he doesn't want to wait until midseason. He would be happy trading something away in the future in order for this year to get off to a great start. As for Max Crosby, I did think it was interesting that Clint Kubiak, his coach with the Raiders, pointed out this week that, quote, he's ready to go, he's ready to practice, and he'll get first-team reps tomorrow. So his health is good to go. Now, again, whether this is a player they're poking around on, guys, I don't know. But he's at least telling us that it might be quiet, but behind the scenes, Jerry's still cooking in the kitchen.
Yeah. I think that's the takeaway. That's the takeaway. Jerry is still cooking. He's still cooking in the kitchen. So again, I wouldn't get locked in on Max Crosby. I wouldn't get locked in on Max Crosby. I just think what we need to be locked in on is what I said before. The Cowboys are not done. The Cowboys are not done. I think they're gonna add another player. I'm not gonna be surprised they add one or two players. I'm not going to be surprised. This Oxnard, California trip is going to be a great evaluation for the Cowboys. They'll see exactly where they are. They'll see what they need to do. So I'm excited. I'm excited about what the Cowboys are doing, Cowboys Nation. I really am, but I've been excited about it. I've absolutely been excited about it. I think we're going to be good to go. I trust, as I told y'all before, I absolutely trust the front office because they're listening to the people that know football. I trust what they're doing. I trust what they've done. And I think they're going to continue to do what needs to be done to help this team win. Baz, you really want Max Crosby, don't you? You said imagine what Max could do for Malachi, open up with Donovan Ezra or Josh Sweat. And Baz, I wouldn't even limit myself to those two. There will be other players out there that I believe the Cowboys may absolutely be able to get and may get them even cheaper. It just all depends on how the team looks. I had pulled something today. Let me see. Cowboys Wire. Cowboys Wire, we're talking about players the Cowboys could be looking at. Cowboys Wire, one of the players they were talking about was Von Miller. I don't think Poobie D big on Von Miller. I also don't think Poobie D is big on Bobby Wagner. But they got Bobby Okereke, Bobby Wagner, offensive tackle Taylor. Man, I'm going to tell you, I think the Cowboys should bring in Taylor Decker. I mean, I don't care if he's on the bench. I would love to have Taylor Decker here as an insurance policy. I really think the Cowboys should get him. Hey, appreciate you too, Andre Johnson. Appreciate the support. Gwen Bowden, yeah, I think Jerry is going to spin the block. I think he will spin the block. But again, the indicator that the Cowboys are getting ready to do something is when they get that Quinnen Williams deal done. Get ready. When that Quinnen Williams deal gets done, they about to do something. Marcus Monterio said, yep, I'm agreeing with you. We got to have some patience. Trade deadline also. Yep. Trade deadline also, Marcus Monterio. Yep. So, yeah, Bass said Decker is a beast. Man, I want them to bring this dude in. I would love for them to bring in Taylor Decker, man. Why not? I would love for them to bring in Decker. I mean, you're talking about a heck of an insurance policy, man. That's like having a $10 million insurance policy. Shoot. Taylor Decker could probably start for a couple of teams out there. But I would love for the Cowboys to bring in Taylor Decker. All right, man. Hey, tomorrow, I made arrangements. We're not having Bible study tomorrow. Tomorrow we're doing something else. So I will be on tomorrow, and it's going to be a great show. We're going to be on around 4:30. And it's going to be wall-to-wall Cowboys tomorrow. It's going to be wall-to-wall Cowboys. Be the first day the Cowboys will be opening up the camp. So we're going to talk about all things Cowboys tomorrow, all the clips, all the pictures. I'm hoping that Timmy Solo, I know my sister Brandy got me. Brandy going to send me some videos, everything. Brandy, make sure you contact me through my email. Make sure you hit me on my email, Brandy, so you can send me those clips. Let's Talk Cowboys, gbj@gmail.com. I want to make sure I can share some exclusive clips tomorrow. Share some exclusive clips with Cowboys Nation. But man, that's going to do it for me today. I'll see y'all tomorrow if the Lord is willing. Appreciate y'all rocking with me. Until the next time, DC4L, God bless. Best chat on YouTube. Let's Talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.
Yo, G, bless him, bless him, bless him, bless him.